So the next time you see me is when I'm gonna go ahead and decide if I'm gonna throw them in a foil pan or if I'm gonna, I can't say the word. I don't wanna taste anything else except for Uncle Steve's rib. Oh God. Giving us the real barbecue infinito. But once they start giving me that crack look, then I'm gonna, obviously we all know how hard it is when you're on the grill and it's wintertime. It's snowing out, but you're the one that's doing it. You got these two guys, look at how they got it. They ain't doing nothing. Talk about an easy job. Gosh, I gotta be on a grill. I might burn my hand or something. Shoveling? We used to do that in about 20 minutes back in the 70s. But yeah, winter wonderland. We get famous guys that come through and they've got four-wheelers and they decide that they're gonna help you out.
Now you're earning your own $20.
Right, they're earning their $20. The fun of winter and expensive toys, right? That's neighbor Clint. He's a lifesaver. These two clowns, look at them. They're already county workers. They already know how to lean against a shovel. Take the wings in.
That looks amazing.
They're very spicy.
I don't want them. I don't like spicy.
I know.
I know you're just a little girl and I have to wipe your face
I
the whole time.
I got this shit off.
I have to treat you like a baby, but
I'm gonna need some beer. Wait a minute, drink, hurry up. Why is this thing shutting off? What's going on? That's one crazy bug. Well, it's the truth. Oh, I don't care. It's funny. I know. Everybody's pissed because I didn't give you the money shot of the brisket squirting all over the squeen? Oh, yeah, squeen. It's a squeen, Jeffrey. It's a squeen. And one great thing about cooking the ham in the, Jesus, or green bean cast. So much easier just to reheat it in a pit. Well, because you don't want to meese? When you're cooking at night, the weirdest things pop in your head. Stuff like, there's a skeeter on my, knock it off. There's a skeeter on my, knock it off. There's a one, there's a dozen. You can hear the buzzing. There's a skeeter on my Peter, knock it off. You can sing along if you want to.
We've all been there. Standing alone by our pits while it's raining, just praying we can light a match so we can have a fire. Our main goal in life is to be that husband, that dad, that hero that can provide our circle of life one incredible cook that will satisfy even the worst hunger for Q. So get ready. Ricer is here to bring you peace and end your struggles of failure. He is here to help you amplify your backyard barbecue fun. Oh, can somebody please tell me who wrote this crap? Welcome to Dead Broke BBQ's Tavern Talk. Now here's your host, Ricer.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm gonna tell you, I'm sick and tired of all this Corona crap, to be real honest with you. But honestly, hey, I'm still alive. I had a good cooking weekend. I did some ribeyes, did a couple brats actually on my pit boss this weekend, and had a big announcement. Obviously, I think a lot of you guys saw that I have joined hands with Oklahoma Joe, so I'm really excited. Tomorrow that big old cooker's coming in. It's a beast, so I'm excited, put it together, and then hopefully in the next week I have some videos out on it. So just want to say hello to everybody and thanks for joining me. We got one heck of a lineup tonight. We've got Big Lew from Big Lew's BBQ, and we have Rob from Beer Champ BBQ himself too. So we got two guys I know Lou's in the chat right now. I'm glad that he's in there. And let's just do a couple little shout outs to everybody here. So, hey, Dickie from Noobs Barbecue and More. Russell from Raspberry Rock Off Grid Cabin. How you doing, buddy? Last time I saw you, looked like you were enjoying yourself. Daddy Dutch is here. Megs, how you doing, buddy? We got Steven's here, Behind the Garage Barbecue. Well, that's perfect. This is a perfect time to announce that he is the winner of the competition barbecue rub from Sucklebusters. This one right here. Let's get her in focus. Let's try it again. Well, no, maybe not. There he is. So we're going to get that out to Craig real soon. So congratulations, Craig. That's awesome, man. Everybody likes to win something, and we'll give you a little round of applause for that. We got Charlie, my favorite producer / scheduler. Charlie's in there. And then who else we got? We got What's New Barbecue. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. Richard from Our New Barbecue. John from 1984 Barbecues here. Dash is in the house. And Terry Schwackhart. I'm going to just say it something like that. And Ken from Heavy Metal Barbecue. Awesome, buddy. Thanks for joining me, man. If you can't tell, I went to the grocery store and I was able to get a 1-pack of TP. So I'm displaying that. We might have to have that as a winning. Who knows? It sounds smart to do. Give away some toilet paper these days. I can't get I can't get enough of Facebook and all the toilet paper memes. They're just hilarious. I never really made my whole life thought we'd have a toilet paper shortage. A toilet paper shortage in Wisconsin? I got 3 tissue companies that I can drive in half an hour to 45 minutes away, and they're right there. Really? Georgia? We have a Georgia Pacific, and there's a couple other. And it's like, how can this be, man? Stop panicking. Plus, the symptoms in this is a runny nose, so wouldn't all the Kleenex be out? Sore throat and coughing. It's like a respiratory thing. Why is everybody panicking about their ass? Really. Come on. Get 1 pack of TP in case you got to sit around. But, if you're in a normal house, a pack of toilet paper should, the big packs should last you at least 2 weeks. Christ, at least 2 weeks. I got 2 boys and they're always in the can. But hey, they still don't go through that much toilet paper. So, but anyways, tonight we got Big Lew, and we're going to start off with him first. And if you guys aren't familiar, this is what his YouTube channel looks like, and you got to go over and check it out. The guy is very original. I actually found him when I was searching some Old Smoky stuff, and you can see there's his modded up little Old Smoky right there. I think it was kind of modded. And the guy is he's witty. He's probably the fastest talker in YouTube, to be honest with you, too. I talk fast, but when that guy's rolling, man, he's very good at punctuation, too. So, but we're going to get him in right now. Give him a little call over into the wonderful land of Skype, and I'll get a hold of him, and hopefully he's all set. Oops, better turn that off so you guys don't have to listen to that. Nobody wants to listen to that. Hey, Rick, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Nicholas. All right, here he comes, the one and only. Let's get him on the screen. I think you might have to press the screen button, Lou.
What I got to do?
I think you got to just.
You. Can you hear me?
I hear you, but I don't see you yet, bud. So that's all right. Take your time. Let's take our time.
All I did was answer. There's a camera button.
There you go.
How's
now
that?
you're on. You're on. Perfect, buddy. There you go. We got the camera on. All right. Well, hey, welcome, bud. I'm really happy to have you on tonight. And, of course, obviously, I know you pretty good. We've had a lot of conversations lately. But the rest of some of these other guys in here obviously know you too, but some of them don't. So I didn't know if you want to just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll maybe get into some questions.
I'm tech-tarded, and I didn't know how to put the screen on there. And I was watching you on the little tablet over here, waiting for you to come on the phone device that I do my videos with.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you said it was going to be a 20-second delay, and I still wasn't expecting it. So,
That's okay, buddy. You're fine,
but I
man.
heard
You're
you
on,
sound
man.
fast talker.
You are a fast talker. And it's impressive. And you have long sentences too. Some people, they might talk fast, and then it's like 3 or 4 sentences that they have to cut up to make one sentence. And ask somebody who's talking about that. That's me, So I'll throw a bunch of stuff out there, but I do have a little bit of a brain slowdown sometimes when I'm trying to chat. So, but tell us a little bit about yourself. What part of Louisiana you're from, and just give us a little background about Big Lew.
Well, I was born in Baton Rouge, the eyes of blue, just like the country music song says. My parents are from Baton Rouge, and I grew up in a town north of New Orleans, on the north shore of New Orleans, and a little small rural town, kind of. But anyway, I taught and moved to Baton Rouge as a young adult, and I taught school there in Baton Rouge for about 9 years. And in 2005, my wife, just before Katrina and Hurricane Rita came, my wife and I moved to West Louisiana. I think before that, I'd been across the Mississippi River. Maybe I could count them on my fingers how many times I've been west of the Mississippi River. But anyway, I grew up on the Mississippi border, and I now live on the Texas border of Louisiana.
Okay.
About an hour north of Lake Charles, Louisiana, if you know where that is. So it's about an hour north of that. It's about an hour north of I-10.
Okay. I've been to New Orleans one time in my life, so that's about as far as I went. I flew over and landed and hung out for a conference, but I'm not a traveler as much as I want to be. But yes, I have been there. So
Well, I haven't been to Wisconsin, but I have been to Minnesota, which is near Wisconsin.
well, yeah, you're
correct.
stone throw away, buddies. Maybe, and you got to skip it across the Mississippi there too. So, when you're married and you have kids and all that, what ages are they?
Okay, I have a wife. We will have been married. You asked me to talk fast, and I had to slow it down. We will
No, I
have been
like
married
it.
21 years in June.
Awesome.
And I have a daughter. She's 17. She was 14 when I started this YouTube channel. She was my camera girl at first, before I resurrected an old tripod that my grandfather used to own. And I have a 13-year-old son. He's in 7th grade. My daughter's a junior, and I'm really, really proud of her, and the son too. I'm proud of both of them. But
Sure.
my daughter's going off to a boarding school now, so you don't see her in as many videos anymore. Finishing her senior year of college at Louisiana School for Math, Science, and the Arts. It's like a STEM school that also does performing arts and stuff. And
Neat.
you really got to be. I was talking to my mechanic yesterday, and he said, "That's for the overly smart kids, isn't it?" I said, "Yep, that's why she goes there." So I'm proud of her.
Awesome. As they depart, and my boys are 12 and 13, so they're still around the house, pretty needy. Obviously, they don't have driver's license or anything like that. But as they depart and leave, there's that time where you're kind of like, I wish they were here because they helped me with this type of thing, or I just miss them. So I'm sure it's a little. She's not that far away, but she's still not right next door, waking up in the room.
Both of them to get out of the house. I'm looking forward to being an empty nester.
Okay.
My wife's like, "Oh, you're going to miss them," but I'm looking forward to being an empty nester.
Right. And that's cool. That's always good too. You get a little bit more privacy, right, on that end. So, what made you get into YouTube? Let's get right at it. What made you get into it?
My sister-in-law.
Okay.
I had gone to a benefit concert that was, I think our audio was off a little bit, or at least your lips are.
I'm not going to match with you.
Concert for Johnny Lee. It was benefiting. It was a charity concert, and Johnny Lee was the one who did the soundtrack for Urban Cowboy.
Okay.
And they had a benefit auction there, and they had a silent auction for a Weber straight kettle, and I put $35 down, And some lady had the audacity to come write her name on that silent auction sheet for $5 more. And I said, well, I don't have none of this. And I went up $10, and I went all the way to 50 on that silent auction. And I won that Weber kettle. That was the week before Thanksgiving of 2016. So I won it on a Friday night or Saturday night. And on that Monday, which was the Monday before Thanksgiving, I said, you know what? I'm going to cook a turkey on it. I love to cook turkeys. It's my favorite thing to cook. My favorite thing to smoke, my favorite thing to barbecue. I just love turkey. Maybe it's because I was born near Thanksgiving. So my daughter, I said, come outside and film me. And we did this on, and I said, I'm going to put some of this on. I didn't even know how to do Facebook Live, but my daughter did. So she put me on Facebook Live, and I'm goofing off. And every hour or so, we're going out to check on this turkey. And I've got people that start following me on this Facebook video of me cooking turkey. And I'm being silly, and I'm goofing off, and I'm making my daughter laugh and stuff. And that was a Monday. On Wednesday, we drove across the state back to where my wife and I are from, and we were at my sister-in-law's house. Okay. And she and her husband and my other sister-in-law and my other sister-in-law, my wife has 3 sisters. They were all talking about how much they enjoyed that Facebook thing. And my wife's sister, Deanna, she says, you need a YouTube channel. And I said, no, I don't need a YouTube channel. She says, yeah, you need a YouTube channel. And her husband says, you can make money on YouTube. I said, I can't make money on YouTube. She says, no, I watch a lot of cooking videos. They're all boring. You're not boring. You need a YouTube channel.
Right.
And so they all started hounding on me. And this took about an hour and a half for them hounding on me. And my brother-in-law says, no, look, this guy makes money. And he showed me some guy dancing around with a pineapple and a pin, shoving a pin inside a pineapple. So he's making money. And I said, I'm not doing that. He said, you don't have to do that. And anyway, my sister-in-law, she's into interior designing and cooking and Pinterest and all that stuff. She said, no, I watch a lot of cooking channels. Your channel will be good. Well, the next morning, Thanksgiving morning, I had a YouTube channel. And so and it's kind of odd because I'm not really a tech guy. I'm not really into computers. People who know me for a long time, even 4 years later, they still find out. Somebody might tell them, somebody told me you had a YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel? These are people I might see on a weekly basis. I'm like, yeah. He said, you have a YouTube channel? I said, I know, right? I'm kind of embarrassed about it. We go places and I tell my kids, I said, don't tell anybody I got a YouTube channel. And my son's like, Dad, you got 7,000 subscribers. That's pretty good. You need to, I said, don't tell them I have a YouTube. I'm kind of actually embarrassed about it in public.
Right. Well, you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. I mean, you're pretty darn good at it, man. You know, so you should be proud.
I don't brag on it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like to say, I'm a YouTuber because I just make videos with this phone and I edit everything with the phone and I upload everything with the phone. Right. And I don't have any fancy equipment. And that's why you hear the echo now. And
no, that's good.
I watch people like you and I watch people like Baby Back Maniac and I watch people that they have all this fancy equipment and this whole studio in their house. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that. So I don't. Right. But I do
I'll tell you. I'll get you.
Teach, and I like to cook, and I like to teach people if I can to cook, and I have fun doing it. So.
Well, speaking of teaching, what's your day job? Your regular, normal 9 to 5?
I'm a high school teacher. I teach high school Spanish.
All right, and I
have taught social studies.
Okay, and how did you become a teacher? I mean, what made you step into that? Because I think you got like a radio voice when I hear you talk all the time. And I'm just kind of wondering how did you change over into the school stuff?
Well, in high school, I wasn't exactly the best athlete. I was more into the stoner sports like skateboarding and hacky sack and frisbee play and stuff like that. But I wound up being the manager on the football team and the trainer on the football team and taping ankles and stuff. Yeah. And one day they needed an announcer for the football games, and I said I would do it. So I was a junior in high school, and I started announcing the football games in high school. And the radio man heard me, that put it on the local radio station, and he said, you would be good on the radio. Well, I was a metalhead. I was into Metallica and Testament and Ozzy and stuff. And they were going to put me on the local country music station as a disc jockey. But I got a job at the local country music station as a disc jockey in my junior year of high school. I did that my junior and senior year, and then I went to college and I majored in radio and television. And I did some cable television stuff. But back then it was video editing. You know, you had the 2 videotapes you'd put in, and you would stop one and you would turn it a little faster with these 2 dials. And everything was different. And then after college, I worked as an operations manager at a radio station for a while. And then I got saved by the Lord Jesus Christ. And if I don't tell people that I got saved by the Lord Jesus Christ, I'm not doing my job. So
right, yep.
And I just didn't feel right anymore. I needed to do something else than tell people to come down to the local honky tonk for a wet T-shirt contest and have price margaritas. And I needed to do something more constructive, so I went back to school and became a teacher.
All right. And then you decided to do Spanish. I mean,
well, at first it was social studies, but I had already had a Spanish minor. I'd had about 18 hours of Spanish in college, and they always needed a Spanish teacher, and they always needed somebody that had more than 12 hours in college, and I had 12 hours. And so eventually I went back to school and I got my Spanish certificate too. So I taught social studies for about 13 years, and I've taught Spanish on and off between 1999 and 2005, maybe 3 or 4 times in those years. And then since 2005, I've been teaching just Spanish.
It's just Spanish.
And well, actually, I taught social studies too until 2011. But since 2011, only Spanish.
Only Spanish. Well, then I know that now I have somebody I can send something and say, explain this to me, you know. So, oops, we lost him. God darn it. All right, let's call back. We're going to call him back real quick. I think there's gremlins again. Uh-oh, he's unavailable. Let's try him again. Hang on with me, guys. Lou and I had a little bit of this the first night when we were testing, but we'll hopefully work through it.
Are you there?
There you are. Yeah, we're here, buddy. We just got disconnected for some reason. Remember, there you go. You know, the gremlins of Skype and all that. I think we're kind of on that same thing, what happened to us last time, but it's all right. So now I was saying there is that now I know I have somebody that I can call up if I have to ask them what something means in Spanish. I can just send you the copy and you can get back to me on it. So.
Yo puedo hablar español bien, pero no es perfecto, pero yo creo que es bastante.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is you're pretty good, but you don't know everything, maybe. That's my guess, huh?
I said I can speak Spanish fairly well, but it's not perfect, but it's enough.
Okay, so I got part of it there.
Gets me by.
All right, good.
I'm not afraid to go to Mexico.
Right. So, you've got. Go ahead.
In fact, I enjoy going to Mexico. I love that country. I love that's a beautiful country. I love going to Mexico. So.
Sure. So do I. I mean, I've been there a couple times and I love it there too. You've got it like kind of to me now. And I'm not saying that it's like not a very popular cooker, but you have that Nuke brand. Say it for me. Nuke brand. Yeah, and. How did you stumble across those couple different cookers you got? How'd you get a hold of them?
Well, I've got a guy, I call him the benevolent subscriber. In fact, a video will come out Tuesday. He spoils me. I don't know why. He lives out in California, and he sends me a lot of things. And sometimes it's almost embarrassing, but I've been emailing with him today, you know. Mm-hmm. And he says that his 2 parents were teachers, and he likes the way I'm raising my family, and I'm a family man and stuff like this. Sure. And he watches a lot of YouTube or something, and he sends me stuff. And so he contacted me last June and said, I see this grill, and I just think you would love to have it. And he showed me a video of it, the promotional video from BBQ Guys. And it was an Argentinian gaucho grill. I like to cook with, if I can't light it with my Zippo, I'm generally not interested in the cooker.
Sure.
And he said, if you don't like it, I'll get you this. And he sent me the image of the top of the line Traeger thing. And I was like, that's way too much money for somebody I don't know to send me. He says, no, I really want to do this. He says, and I said, well, I want the Argentinian gaucho grill because get to play with fire more. He says, I figured that's the one you would pick. So I turned down a Traeger to get it.
Sure.
And it's evidently one of the three main companies in Argentina that make these grills. The other two, I think, being Filfer and Trommel.
Okay.
And UK is one of them, but this guy from Miami named Matthew, you can check his YouTube channel out, is Matthew Brothers, and he came in with a company called Real Fire Barbecue. He's now switching that to UK Barbecue USA.
Okay.
And I've talked to, he's importing them now from Argentina. He had lived in Argentina for about 20 years. I think his wife is from Argentina. He's now importing them. And so this fella in California bought me the grill. It came to me, and I started cooking on it. And then the other fella watched some of them. And then in mid-February this year, he said that BBQ Guys is, if you're not familiar with BBQ Guys, a big internet retailer of barbecue equipment.
Yeah.
Most people are. Well, they're headquartered in Baton Rouge.
Mm.
All right, city of my birth, if I didn't mention that before. And he said that he had an oven that was in Baton Rouge that BBQ Guys had demonstrated or made a video demo of or something. They had testing or something.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're supposed to do with the oven is you're supposed to heat it up to 480 something degrees and let it stay there for more than an hour to cure the paint.
Okay,
because it's
sure.
a really special high heat paint or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, the paint will bubble when you touch it or something if it doesn't get cured first. But once you do that, then you're good to cook at any temperature or whatever, but the paint's got to cure. So he said that they had one at BBQ Guys. They had used it. The paint was peeling on it, but it's still a good oven. I asked him if I could use high heat grill paint. And I had some because I'm getting ready to refix my ugly drum smoker.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that would be fine. And so he was trying to figure out a way to ship it to me. And Baton Rouge, it's about a 2.5, maybe 3 hour drive away, depending on the country roads I got to go down before I get to the interstate.
Sure.
It's 176 miles to the place. All
Sure.
right. I know that because I looked it up on Google. So it's not, I can be there. I should be able to get there and get back by the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't ship it because they had already uncrated it and assembled it and all this stuff. And they could put it on a pallet wrap, but he's trying to get somebody that can handle it, but it's already assembled,
Oh, okay.
When you put that Oklahoma Joe together, it's going to be a lot harder to ship it than it is when it was in the crate that it came in.
Right.
And so I told him I'll drive over to Baton Rouge and pick it up. So I went to Baton Rouge. I went to the BBQ Guys showroom. This was Friday before last.
Okay.
And they got a nice showroom. It's not extremely huge, but they got a place out back showing outdoor kitchens and all kind of stuff. And I walked in there and they didn't know who I was or anything. I thought, they were all going to go, Big Lew! But no, they didn't. May I help you? And I told them I was looking for the person's name I was looking for who had been in email contact with. And they said, well, he works in the corporate office. This is the showroom floor. And I said, okay. One lady said, I'll call him. And she called him and told him and he said, yes, tell him to drive around to the warehouses. So the warehouses it's all one big block area. But they got the corporate office on the main highway, and in the back street, they've got the showroom. And in between there, they just got this. So you drive in, and there was like warehouses 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was supposed to go to warehouse 3, and there was a sign that said warehouse like 5 and 6 around the corner. And I didn't see.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Full of barbecue grills and everything. He said, drive into 3. So I go up to 3, and I'm like, do I drive in here or what? Because the guy's running around with forklifts and everything. And so I get out, and there's a guy, forklift operator, and they was expecting me. And he said, they were expecting me. And he said, just drive on it. So I drove in, backed the truck in. He put the thing on my grill like this, on my truck like this. He pushed it up toward the front. I got out. I was going to ratchet strap it down. I shook the fella's hand, and I drove off with this oven. And just a thank you. I didn't sign anything. I didn't pay for anything or what. Just a handshake and a thank you. But I contacted Matthew Brothers, and I told him, hey, the paint's not peeling too bad on this thing. And I got it home safely. He was in contact with me after I got it and stuff. Yeah. And I really appreciated getting the offer to get the oven. But I live in driving distance to BBQ Guys. Sure. And it was something he could ship to me. And it had the paint peeling, so they can't sell it as new. And they couldn't use it for video demonstrations or whatever. So I've got some black spotches on it. If you look at it in my videos,
Okay.
you see some black spotches where I spray painted with high tip grill paint over the front, but
Right.
it works just fine. So
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
fun.
that's character. That's what we'd call it around here. That's got some character. So I don't think who cares, that's an awesome gift too. Wow. And then do a little bit of cooks. I mean, because that doesn't touch any smoke, if I remember correctly. It's just a regular oven, correct?
Yeah, it's a oven you can bake in. You can bake cupcakes in it and not touch any wood fire flavor, which is kind of off-putting to me at first. But the more I've gotten to use it, the more I've got to think. I said, there's a lot of things I could do with this that doesn't have to. Everything I eat doesn't have to taste like smoke.
Right.
Most of the stuff I eat does have fire flavor to it,
Yeah.
But especially if it's meat. But
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with baking chicken in the oven or baking a turkey in the oven or something like
Right.
that. So it's an outdoor oven. It's fun. I could put a ham in there that's already smoked and cook it. Or I know some people that don't like smoked foods. You could do other
Sure.
things, but I could make bread in it. I could do whatever. The fire's down below, and it's got the exhaust of flames and the heat come up both sides of the oven. They go around the top and then out the flue. And then the cooking chamber also has a separate vent on it to let steam and moisture out. But the cooking chamber is sealed off from any smoke or
Sure.
wood fire flavor with it. But it's still a lot of fun. And
It's like the old cook stoves back in the 30s. I mean, it's a lot like that, just a little smaller, but it sounds a lot like my old grandma's cook stove that she had, so.
It's a good pizza oven. I've gotten the thing up to over 600 degrees before, so it would be a very good pizza oven, though it wouldn't have the wood-fired pizza flavor. I've done a lot on the ovens. Evidently, these wood-fired ovens come in two kinds, black and white.
Okay.
Of course, even though mine's black, it's still considered a white oven. A black wood-fired oven is like the dome brick pizza ovens that you see.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fire is in the same cooking chamber that you cook the food.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
They call that a black oven because the roof gets black with the soot and stuff from the fire. You can get the fire really hot and burn a lot of it off, but you put the pizza right there next to or whatever you're cooking right next to in the same chamber where the fire is.
Okay.
And a white wood-fired oven means that the cooking chamber is separate. There's a separate chamber for the fire that heats it either from below or from the side, but the fire doesn't mix with the food. And that's called a white wood-fired oven. All that I've learned in the past 2 weeks. It's all new knowledge to me.
Sure. So I got a question about, as long as we're talking a little bit about cookers and stuff, your old Smoky, you really, really cherish that cooker. And I think it's probably pretty close to your, where you live too, the manufacturer.
They make them in Houston, Texas.
Yeah. Was that like one of your first cookers that you ended up getting when you were like after the Webers and different things, or how did you?
My dad had a Weber when I was growing up, and I learned to cook after my parents divorced when I was 13, just before I went into high school. And I had two younger brothers, and the only thing my dad knew how to do, we lived with my dad for most of it. The only thing my dad knew how to do after the divorce was make a grilled cheese sandwich, heat up Campbell's tomato soup, or order Domino's pizza. Mm-hmm. This was back in the 80s. So it didn't take long after my mom was out of the house. And, we did guy things. It was just me and my brothers and my dad. We could leave the toilet seat up, and we put a ping pong table in the living room. Mom was gone. But to eat, I started experimenting with how to cook because my dad was working, and I'd be home from school. And
you're hungry.
I remember I tried to cook red beans and rice one time, and I just burned them. And I don't know if you've ever smelled burnt red beans, but they don't smell great. And I was about 13. But I started learning to cook, and my dad had a Weber, and I'd cook on it. But Old Smokies have been around in Louisiana and the Gulf South. They're in lots of hardware stores, and lots of people have them. They're very common here in the Gulf South. Mm-hmm. I didn't even realize it was a regional company.
Sure.
Now, my grandfather had a PK. He didn't cook much. My uncle had given him the PK when my uncle moved to Nebraska in 1969. He had given my grandfather a portable kitchen. This was before charbroil aluminum or whatever. and they had stopped making them for a while, and then they bought the company back or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a 1969 PK, and he would cook burgers on it for 4th of July, or maybe if the family was over and my grandmother told him to grill something, he would go out and grill. But he wasn't much of a griller, so it didn't get used much. It always stayed, I think. But when I was in my about 26 or something, I would move back to the Baton Rouge area, and I'd gone and helped him clean out the shed. My grandfather was now almost 90.
Okay.
You know, He died at age 90. He died 100 days short of his 100th birthday, so he's probably in his late 80s or 90s. He wasn't grilling on it anymore.
Right.
He said, "Do you want this grill?" So I took the grill. And at that time, I was a single man, and I lived in an RV trailer.
Okay.
And I had that PK, and I really learned to cook with that portable kitchen. That thing it's not very big, so you're not going to cook with a crowd with it, but for 1 or 2 people, for a couple, it's a great cooker, and you can put a Boston butt on the side. That was the first time I made really good pulled pork, was with that PK. And I learned, I had learned a lot of barbecue in the years before, because I had a mentor that had known a lot of stuff about barbecue and stuff.
Okay.
But that was mainly with the kettle grill. But with the PK, I started to learn to do a lot more slow stuff. And I used that thing from about 1996 or 7 till my daughter was born in 2002. You know, so I got married with it, and I cooked on it all the time. And when she was born, I was moved out. My wife and I, we moved out of the trailer because I'd gotten married, and it's just my wife and I in the trailer then. I bought the trailer as a single man, but we moved to a house. And moving to the house in Baton Rouge, going down the Airline Highway, that PK fell out of the back of my truck and cracked. A 1969 portable kitchen fell out. It's all solid aluminum well, and it broke the hinges off, and it cracked the top. And it's something I still got. I watch people like Tom Horseman and stuff cook on their PK grills, and I'm like, I miss my PK, but it probably wouldn't have been big enough to feed my family of 4 with it. Nowadays. But at the time, we just had a baby, and the truth is, I couldn't go out and afford to buy a new one. And I had a little Old Smoky, the little 14 one, as a young man in college, and so I was familiar with them. But I could go get this $65, $70 Old Smoky, because they're at every hardware store or whatever. So I replaced the PK with that. Sure. And I realized, I can cook pretty good food on this cheap grill. And I kept that one 5 years, and I bought another one. And then the one that says Big Lew on it, I bought that in 2012. That was my 3rd one.
Oh, wow.
And so I started the YouTube channel with the Weber on cooking the turkey, but of course I had the Old Smoky, so I would cook on it a lot. There wasn't a whole lot of Old Smoky videos on YouTube. Right. Most of them were much worse quality than my phone camera videos are. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. Yeah. And last March, about a year ago, I was going to our local hardware store. We've got a regional home improvement store called, I don't know if I can mention it on your show.
Yeah, you can say it. Yeah.
It's called Stein. It's local to Southwest Louisiana and the Gulf South. I think they might have 1 or 2 stores in Texas, but it's just regional. But it's like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. Okay. Yeah. In fact, their motif is green. So I tell them I'm going to the blue home improvement store, the orange home improvement store, the green. And so there's one of these Stein in my town, and they sell a lot of barbecue stuff. I buy a lot of stuff from them. I buy charcoal from them and stuff. They got a nice garden center with a lot of barbecue equipment. Sure. And so I was just going to the store with my wife last March, because it was time to get air filters for our air conditioner. And our air conditioner at the house, that's the only store that has the size air filters we need. Walmart doesn't carry the size we need. We got an odd size. So just going in there to buy air filters. And there were these 2 guys out there with a little pop-up canopy thing. Yeah. And it said Old Smoky on it. And they were grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and giving them away. And I wasn't even going to the garden center part. I was going over to the air conditioner part. But my wife said, "Look, Old Smoky." And I looked over there, and I said, "That's the greatest grill of the Gulf South." And the guy says, "You like our grills?" I said, "I love your grills." So I went over there and started talking to him. And they asked how long I'd been cooking them. I told them the story about how I'd had one as a young man, but I let it rust out because I didn't clean it out before between seasons, and it sat in the shed. And if you leave charcoal in them, they will rust.
They'll rust up, yeah.
But if you clean it, they'll last you 5 to 10 years, depending on how often you clean it. It's not,
$65, 5 years.
$65, yeah. Not a bad deal, right? So, I told him that I'd been cooking on, and so he says that's pretty good, And my wife is there, but she's kind of standing out of the way, and they offered me a hot dog, and I eat the hot dog and everything. And they said, "How did you learn about?" He said, "So you just found out about it?" I said, "Yeah, I bought one and I liked them." And he said, "But there's some guys that I watch YouTube videos of people cook them." He says, "You ever see Big Lew?" And I said, "Yeah, I watch Big Lew all the time." I said, "He's one of my favorite because he cooks on the Old Smokies all the time." And the fella's like, "Wait a minute, you're Big Lew."
Oh, it's hilarious.
And he was like, "Okay." Now I got pins and stuff, and I got an invite to go visit the factory. And last summer, my wife and I and the family, we went over. It is the coolest factory. And I don't know if y'all have seen that video of my tour.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
But the factory's been there since 1923.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to make stovepipe and lard cans and oil cans and stuff like this, buckets and pails and grain pails and stuff.
Yep.
And so evidently in 1953, which would be 30 years after the company was there, they were having a company party, and one of the workers fashioned a barbecue grill out of the buckets and was cooking on it at the company party. And the owners at the time thought that was a great idea. That was 1953, the same year Weber came out with a kettle.
Sure.
And by 1960, the company was only making the barbecue grills. But the factory was fantastic. They used to be right near the train tracks. Some of the equipment they make these barbecue grills on is 80 years old or something.
Wow.
So you see that elevator, it was put in during the Roosevelt administration. This machine, they were over there stamping out the mid-size ones, and they said, that machine is probably 80 years old. They had old drag lines. They had this old map in their conference room there when they took me on the tour. And the map had most of the states up to Texas. And then it had California. And then there were no states between Texas and California. And there were no states north of Texas.
Yeah.
So that's how old the map was.
Yeah.
The company's been here quite some time.
Sure.
And it was a really neat tour. But the sad thing is they're going to have to find a new factory.
Okay.
They are. It's a little old warehouse district there in Houston. They've got a microbrewery there that a lot of Houstonians really like the beer that comes from. I think it's St. Andrews or St. Anthony's or something like that brewery.
Okay.
A lot of Houstonians like that brand of beer. But there's a little other old-time businesses there. They're all about to get destroyed in the interest of progress for an exit ramp off of I-10. So they've got to move the 100-year-old factory. And the guys that own it, they've owned the company since the 70s.
Okay.
And they're looking for this as an opportunity. They were sad at first, but they could maybe expand or whatever. But they're looking to keep making them in the Houston area. So it's sort of a regional thing. And, I can drive down the road and I'll pass a mobile home or I'll pass somebody's house. And since going to the factory, my wife even looks for them too. Oh, they got an old Smoky under their garage, or they got an old Smoky on their porch. Or look, but she didn't do that before we went to the factory. But now,
after you're introduced to something like that, and you kind of feel like they welcomed you in and gave you a nice tour and all that, it has a special place for your heart. And what better than the Old Smoky, to count underneath like garage doors and stuff, So.
They cook fantastic, and it's the best grill you can get for under $100. I guarantee it. The best grill you will get for under $100. The basic Weber now is like $129 or something.
Right.
The Weber I'm not knocking Weber at all. I like my Weber.
Yep.
But Old Smoky's it's a different thing. The on the big one, the coals are 8 inches from the grate.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on a Weber, they're only 5 inches from a grate. So you could put chicken on top of the Old Smoky, and you don't have to worry about a whole lot of flare-ups and it burning. And you got to really watch it on a Weber, unless you get some of these accessories. And there's a ton of accessories and stuff for Weber.
Sure.
Some of that is because Weber needs it. Some of that is because Webers are so popular.
Right.
But hold on, I've got a. What is this? I'm getting a message from Hannah.
All right.
Stop rubbing your eye. You're on camera. My daughter walked in. I'm not supposed to touch my face.
Yeah, I touched my face too. So how? Well, as long as we're talking a little bit about that, you brought that up. I mean, being a school teacher, what's all going on down in your part of the neck of the woods, let's say, in your state? What's happening with the coronavirus with you guys?
Our benevolent, all-seeing, all-knowing, all-protecting governor has canceled school till April 13th, effective March 16th. And so it looks like I'm going to have a month vacation. I don't know if I'm going to have to start going to online classes or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers are like, great, we'll just teach online. And I'm like, that scares me because I'm tech-tarded and I don't want to do that. I'm like, please don't let it be the foreign language classes. Please let it just be the math, science, social studies, and the stuff that they got to have on the ACT. Do the online classes because that scared me. But looks like I might have some time to rebuild my drum smoker and make some more videos and do some fishing and get back into disc golf and whatever. They had last Monday, we were teaching school. I was teaching school last Monday, watched the news in the morning. They said there's still no reported cases of coronavirus in Louisiana. Okay. Monday afternoon, watching the evening, there was 1. Tuesday, there were 11. Wednesday or night or something, it had jumped to 36. My wife checked it this morning. It's now 90 something, almost 100 coronavirus cases in Louisiana. Most of them are in New Orleans, but one's in Shreveport, which is in the northwestern side of the state. And I live like in the south of the central western part of the state and north of the southwestern part of the state. I live like kind of right in the middle. Sure. And anyway, trying to be careful and doing the wise thing, but it's also allergy season here. The oak trees are in bloom, and this yellow pollen dust is coming everywhere. And as I get older, that gets to me. So if I sneeze or something, I don't have coronavirus. I got allergies. So if I touch my eye, you know what? I'm at home and I'm not out in public. Yeah, I want to go out in public and pick boogers and touch my eye and scratch my butt and all kind of stuff right in the middle of Walmart, but I might get arrested nowadays. So well, I saw something on Facebook and I was talking about this earlier, but like they're at a bus stop and then somebody sneezes and then somebody pulls out a gun, and it's a fake thing, and they shoot them and then they take their anti virus stuff and they spray all around and then they're fine. They're waiting. It was pretty comical, but that's kind of how it is. When I was at Sam's Club on Thursday night, it was like Black Friday. I couldn't believe all the people that were in there. I'm like, you're kidding me. And, and you watch these carts go by you. Now, I bought meat. I have, plans because I got a new cooker coming, so I wanted to get some meat in here, a little different stuff. But when I saw the people that had all this different like stuff, they didn't have just box food. I mean, when there's things like this, get some box and canned food. Well, I'm like, I wonder how much of that meat's actually going to get cooked or thrown in the freezer, and then they like find it 2 years later, and it's like, geez, remember when we went and bought all this crap and we didn't even eat it? So part of it could be a little bit of a, a scare, but. Not all of it. That's so basic. I'm sorry. So what's some of your plans? I'd shave my beard, but I can't touch my face. What's some of your plans this year to to wrap it up? What's your big plan this year for your channel? Now, obviously, you said you might be able to get your ugly drum smoker put back together.
What are you kind of thinking about doing this year? I mean, I always ask everybody, what's your plan for your channel? I know that you have, you know,
I
you
have
don't
no
care.
goals or ambition whatsoever.
None. Okay. All right.
None. Man, I got talked into doing this thing, and I do it for fun. And as long as it stays fun, I'll continue to do it. I enjoy talking to people, but I don't. I'm not going to set a goal that I need to reach so many thousand subscribers, or that I need to get this equipment or that equipment, or that I need to get this spot. I think about it. I say, I was doing this before I got paid.
Right.
Before I even realized I could get paid, to be honest. Because, I was in Walmart, and a former student of mine said, because Big Lew comes from my last name, Lewis. My name is Robert Lewis, for those that don't know, but I got the name in high school because my younger brother was Lil Lewis, and he hated that name. And the more they called him Lil Lewis, the more I got called Big Lewis, and the final syllable got dropped.
Okay,
But
sure.
I've been Big Lew for years. Email accounts and online bulletin boards back in the 90s and everything. That's been my online handle for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And now where was I? Oh, as far as goals for the channel.
Yeah. Well, I think you said how you.
It's a lot of fun, but I don't ask companies to send me stuff.
Right.
I don't ask for stuff. I don't. I've got everything I need. The Lord has blessed me beyond. I'm not a rich man, but I've got a good family, and I've got a nice home, and I've got a job that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I don't even ask for subscribers. I appreciate all my subscribers, but in the early days of my channel, I never could pull that off. I'm comfortable on camera, but I couldn't pull off asking for subscribers because I felt like I was making fun of every other YouTuber out there. Like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that bell. And every
I'm
time
guilty.
I even try to do it, and then I just said, so the first 6 months or so, I would try it, and I'd cut it out because I felt like I was not being authentic. I felt like I was not being me. I felt like I was imitating everybody else.
Yep.
And
Understandable.
so I couldn't deliver the line with veracity. And I said, you know what? I was, I only had a few subscribers, but I said, you know what? If people like what they're doing, they know how to subscribe to that channel.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't do it. And then it became a thing that the only time you'll see me mention not asking for subscribers are on thank you videos and stuff for reaching this milestone, 1,000 and 2,000 and 5,000 or whatever.
Right.
Subscribers, and I'm thanking them, and I say, but you watch just one of my cooking videos, I never mention like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. I never mention that on my videos.
Sure.
I figure people will do it. If they do it, great. If they don't do it, that's fine too. And everyone that does subscribe, I do appreciate. Just not that don't ask for it because I don't appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that
it's just not your.
I didn't feel like I could deliver the line. I'm comfortable on camera, but I didn't feel like I could deliver that line.
Sure.
With authenticity.
Well, you said something. I think you were leading into something there that I know about. That you were in Walmart, and a former student, I think, kind of helped you out with your channel after you had so many. You probably were on that where you just needed like 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers deal or something.
I had it. A former student saw me, and he said, "Are you making money with YouTube?" This was before they changed the rules in January of 2018. So this was about July of 2017.
Okay.
I started the channel at Thanksgiving Day of 2016. So it hadn't even been a year yet. And he knows a lot of stuff. He says, "Oh no, you can monetize at 10,000 views." And I'm like, "Well, I don't think I have 10,000 views." He says, "Man, I looked at your channel. You got 14,000 views." So right there in Walmart, I picked up my phone and went to the little thing, and it said I had 14,000 views. And I said, "Well, how about that?" He says, "Well, you can monetize your channel." His channel wasn't monetized yet. He had some video game channel or something, but he knew how to monetize mine. He clicked on all the buttons, and right there in Walmart, my channel was monetized. And I started watching it. Like by the end of the month, it was like $18. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And about 3 months later, it was $112. And so in October, I got my first check. So it started in November of the previous year. In October that year, I got my first check. It was over the $100 threshold.
Sure.
And then, it's been kind of nice. I pay credit card bill or something with it. But
Right.
I'm not into watching how to grow your YouTube channel. I don't watch any of these things all I'm trying to do. My main goal is to not get sued. If I don't get sued by somebody because I said the wrong thing, I've had a successful year.
Well, yes, and I think you're onto something there for sure, obviously. So, but, well,
If I don't get one of those strikes or something like that.
Yep, some silly copyright goofy thing, yeah. Well, your videos, I don't think you have to worry about it, bud. I mean, I know how you kind of edit and stuff like that. You always have good music in there, and you do good text when you do text. I'm surprised you do that on your cell phone. So you do a good job, buddy.
The app I just use the Splice app, and it was free.
Sure.
And they had a little bluegrassy sounding song that I was using. And last summer, Splice was owned by GoPro, and they sold it to somebody else. And they started making changes. And at first, the music was absolutely awful. But they've added a lot more music, but I still don't like all the music in it. But the music I've been using lately is it's really probably not my style of music, but the name of the song on there that you click, and you got the rights to do it, it's called Set a Fire. So I clicked on that because the name of the song is called Set a Fire.
Okay.
SETA Fire.
All right.
And that's what I like to do, is set stuff on fire. So I started using that, and in January of this year, they started charging for the little app. And like I said, I've got no investment in this. I haven't invested any money in equipment or anything like this. And I was like, man. And so I started looking at the iMovie thing that comes on. I said, I'm not going to be able to do my videos with this. And I started looking at the other free apps, and I was like, you know what? It's like $30 a year for this, and I've made money with the YouTube, and I like the editing app on my phone.
Yeah.
I went ahead and made that $30 investment into my YouTube channel by buying the Splice app.
Awesome.
And that's how I edit my videos. And the music I've been using lately, I know if you watched my videos for a long time, last June, the music changed because they took that song off, and then I didn't like any of the stuff they had, and then they put this Set a Fire song on there. And not that it's a fast-paced song, but I like the name of the song because it kind of goes with what I like to do. So that's what I'm using.
Well, I think everybody learned a lot about you tonight, to be honest with you, Lou, and you did a heck of a job. Is there anything else you just want to mention real quick just to everybody? You got anything else to say? Or
coffee filters. I went to Walmart to get coffee filters after church this afternoon because we were out of coffee filters. And I felt guilty this morning because we got one of those little things with the K-cup things, but this makes one cup. I got a family. We want to drink a pot of coffee. I got a Mr. Coffee maker that we use. And sometimes I got a percolator, but went to Walmart to get coffee filters. The coffee filters were gone. I'm like, everybody uses K-cups now anyway. Why are the coffee filters gone? My wife's like, well, they need to use something. They're out of toilet paper.
Maybe.
So not only are the paper towels and the toilet paper gone, the coffee filters were out at Walmart. We found a smaller grocery that had a few packets left. But
next it'll be dryer sheets. People be using dryer. Well,
I think tomorrow morning after I make my coffee, I'm gonna just dump the grounds out and hang the coffee filter up and wash it, and then hang it in the bathroom just in case I needed it sometime.
Right. Well, then
it'll already be stained brown from the coffee, so it'll be good.
And then post it on social media. Put it on your Facebook. Well, you be safe down there, obviously. Obviously, there's a little precaution that everybody's kind of feeling about all this stuff. But you take care. Now, during your time off, I hope you get to pound out a bunch of protein and different cooks, and we'll be watching you. All right, bud?
If they pay me during this time off, I will. If they don't pay me, it might be some red beans and rice and stuff. Look, I want to thank you for doing this, and I want to thank if there was any viewers. Hope I didn't run any viewers off. I know there's a lot of people that chat before this started. They're probably a lot less now.
There's a lot more.
Thank you anyway.
So. No, buddy, you did awesome, and I appreciate you coming on, Lou. You're not on a lot of live chats and stuff like that, so I really, appreciate it.
Do a live chat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to do when I'm that tech-tarded. So,
Well,
and,
I'm glad I got you on
sometimes,
here.
to be honest, I know you want to get me off here, but sometimes I see somebody's going live, and I'm like, okay, if I know they're going to be on live for like 20 minutes, I might watch. But if they're going to be live like for an hour and a half, I'm probably not clicking on your live stream because I'm not going to watch you cook stir-fried rice on your Blackstone live for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, dude, but every now and then I might jump in and say I don't know how to do a live stream. I really don't. I've done a few live giveaways, but
I think it's always cool because everybody's got a busy life, and I always say, if you can get into one and say hello, how's everybody doing, and that and chat for a little bit, that's good enough. But I'm glad we got you on here, buddy, and I'm
you
thinking.
got another interview, so I'll let you go, and I'm gonna watch it the other room. So
yeah, and we got.
Thank you, Jeff. Ricer, I appreciate it very much.
No problem, buddy. And then get in the chat and talk to everybody. I know they're all going to want to talk to you a little bit. So, all right, bud.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Good job, and keep on cooking, buddy.
You turn me off, or I'll turn you
I
off?
can turn you off. I can get you off.
I'm tech-tarded.
All right, buddy. See you later. All right. Well, there we go. There was Lou. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Again, he is, he likes to tease himself that he's not very good at the technology, but he did a pretty darn good job, and I'm proud of him for stepping up to the plate. He was a little bit, I'm going to give him a round of applause here. And he was kind of like a little bit nervous about how we could do it. But between Charlie and I, we got him on, and it's awesome to have him part of it. So I am actually going to go right into, we're going to go into Rob from the Beer Camp and give him a call. I hope he is watching, and he's kind of the guy, he's one that I named, we're sitting at the rail. If you sit in the tavern enough, you go to the rail, and you end up saying stuff like, give me a whiskey and Coke. Well, they're pouring that off the rail. That's the most popular area to buy your booze. So we're bringing him in on the rail, and we're going to sit there and talk to him. I'm going to call up Rob right now. The chat's been pretty busy. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Ray?
Oh, bud, pretty good. Hey, beer time. I want to make sure that everybody, how's the audio out there? Rob and I did have a test, but I did have to do a little bit of adjustment this afternoon. So give me thumbs ups or something like that in the chat itself, just so I know how Rob sounds. So go ahead, buddy. Introduce yourself. I know you. Most of the guys in here know you, but some of them don't. So let's hear about it, bud.
What's going on, guys? Rob here from Beer Champ BBQ. Not Beer Champ.
Oh, did I say Beer Camp? I'm sorry. Beer Champ. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that, dude.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, so
Anyway,
that's why I got you in the rail.
Huh?
That's why I got you on the rail, so we can learn more about you. I'm sorry for calling the camp. I know it's Champ, so made the dumb thumbnail, but brain fart for me. So, yeah. So go ahead. Let's hear about it a little bit. Let's hear about yourself and your family and where you're from and what you do.
All right. I'm from upstate New York, and I got 4 kids, 3 boys, 1 girl. Finally had the girl. She's only going on 2.
Okay.
So done with kids. And I work retail. So lately it's been crazy. And
right. Yeah. Lately it's been probably absolutely nuts for you.
Oh, insane. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
And how did you end up getting into the whole the YouTube stuff, bud? How'd you get into this? Because you're not just a brand new channel. You've been around for a while. And I know that you have some technical background too. So because obviously when you and I have had little private messages back and forth, editing, sound and stuff like that. But how did you get into it? How'd you get into it, man?
Into YouTube? That's funny.
Yeah.
I started making T-shirts for a professional tag team wrestling team on TNA Wrestling.
Okay.
And it was just an accident on Twitter. I submitted a picture over a hashtag, and they were like, "Oh, that's awesome. I need that design, and we're going to wear those shirts." So I had to learn Photoshop really quick. because it was from a generator. So I learned Photoshop on a whim, man, and I designed them guys a bunch of shirts. And then somebody said I wasn't actually the one that designed the shirts, so I made a YouTube video with emails corresponding between me and the professional wrestlers.
Okay.
And then I started doing wrestling reviews because reviews was cool back in 2013, 14, whatever it was.
All right.
And then it went to beer reviews.
All right.
And then this was actually a backup channel because back then there was so many copyright things that you couldn't do much of anything when it came to talking about something else that was trademarked or copyrighted, even though you were just talking about it.
Right.
So this was my backup channel, and then it became a hiking channel, and it was just a hobby I had. And I've always liked barbecue, and eventually the hiking channel it never did well.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm already cooking. Let me show you what I'm doing. And that's where it started.
Well, like when I kind of stumbled across you, the first few times I seen this shanty that you cook in, this type of shack, and how did you develop that and why? I mean, that I cook in the garage. I think we're going to be pretty similar on our answers here, but what made you do it? How'd you come up with it?
Upstate New York, one of the snowiest places in the United States, and I love barbecue. So I used to just stand in the snow and run back inside, but I like to listen to music and drink beer. So eventually it came to the part of it's too damn cold. So eventually the very first shanty, I'm going to do a video on the evolution of what I've got.
Okay.
And the first one was fucking horrible. So it was just a tarp tacked to my house over one of my old grills, and I had a smoker inside, and I had a chair, and I could sit in here. Mm-hmm. And the first cook was a beef tenderloin for Christmas, right, on this pad. And then the next year, I bought a grill gazebo, and then it started getting cold. I was like, hell, I just hung tarps on the sides for walls. And then it was small. I only got a 4x8 pad here. Then the year after, because that was just too tight. The year after, I laid out some pallets, so now it's 8x8, and then I strung the tarps out like a lean-to off from the gazebo. The gazebo got crushed from snow. You can watch that video from a couple of years ago. Okay. And I repaired it with duct tape and zip ties and sticks, and it was real ghetto.
Sure.
And so that was last year, and this year I still cooked in it, but I added like a roof off from that gazebo. And then in October, if you watch my video, I tear it all down and I built this because I wasn't going through winter again without wearing a t-shirt while cooking.
Okay. So then now where are you at with this whole shack now? So
right now so where I was, right after October when I tore the old one down and I built this one up. Really, I built the perimeter with just old pallets, and then I put a countertop basically on it, so it looks like a bar from the outside.
Okay.
And then I wrapped it in canvas tarps, and then plastic on the outside where the windows are. Put a door on it, and I got ventilation, so if anybody's worried, I do. Obviously, I'm not dead yet.
Right. Well, and then go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so the ceiling's about 9 foot high back here and about 6.5 foot at the other end. So that pitch at least slides the snow down, or rain, or whatever you got.
Right.
And I stay dry and nice and warm in here. I got a heater. I got my pits. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, cool.
Next, I'll do the beer fridge.
Well, you obviously got some power out there, so how'd you run that out there?
Oh, right behind this wall, there's an office that nobody uses. So there's an extension cord with a power strip coming out of that window, and it's behind the wall, so good to go.
All right, cool. you're kind of talking about all of like getting started on YouTube, and you know, you started out with the wrestling stuff, and then you worked into your hiking thing, and now you've moved into this. You've got quite a few subscribers now. Was it always, did you use the same subscriber thing, or did you start a new and just rename your channel, or did you
So that,
go ahead.
all right. So this channel, actually about 800 to 1,000 of the subscribers that I have are from the previous, like the wrestling and the barbecue, or the hiking and the beer.
Sure.
And then after that, it's grown.
Just new subscribers and all that. Well, how, you know, seeing that I stumbled through and called you Camp, but I did want to ask you, how did you come up with Champ, the Beer Champ BBQ? How did you come up with that whole wording for your name?
It's a funny story. So back in the day, I was like 30 years old. Me and my old lady actually split up, and me and my best friend got together.
Okay.
And we rented this house at a beach, and well, it started off with a 12-pack for breakfast. So, somehow in my head, I had an idea that if we drink 50 beers each in one day, we would break the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
Needless to say, that's not the record, but I just made it up, and I made it to 45, and the next day, holy hell. But because of it, I'm like, we're beer champs, me and him.
Yeah.
And we were going to make tag team titles and stuff, and it was just fun stuff.
Right.
And then because I make logos, so I made my
Beer
Champ BBQ logo.
Sure. Awesome. And I know that you have a Blackstone. I'm pretty sure it's a Blackstone. And then you have a Pit Boss cabinet. What else do you have for cookers? Is it just those two, or am I missing one?
Weber 26.
Okay. Yeah.
Weber
that's
22.
Right. All right.
There's a Kingsford kettle. That's a 22 as well. And then the Charbroil gasser. It's a 4-burner basic. That's my tabletop.
Okay.
And another Pit Boss portable.
All right. What you going to add another one this year? Anything you're going to add for like some type of cookers this year, or are you going to just keep on rolling with what you got?
I think I'm going to roll with what I got.
Mm-hmm.
And actually my wall over here with the griddle and the 2 kettles on the outside, I think I'm going to build a table and lift up those kettles. I don't like how low they are. You can mount them with the legs, but I want them in a table.
So you make the whole bench thing kind of deal, like Johnny from View to a Grill. Yeah.
Yep, that's my idea. That's how I found his channel too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Was searching cabinet ideas because originally it was going to be on this wall, but it doesn't fit right. So well, since I added the Pit Boss.
Cool.
So,
well, I mean, you got some cool, versatile cookers there. That's for sure. I mean, they're nice cookers, and you know the cabinet. I have a buddy that has one, and I'm probably going to do a couple videos on this year. You know, I mean, he's like, "Hey, I want to switch and use your chamber or your barrel, and I'll let you use that." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." You know, what do you think of that cooker? Is it pretty solid for you so far, or you know, I mean, I've seen you make good stuff on it.
So much. Yeah, you can fit so much food in it. It's so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, you turn it on, 5 minutes, you're ready to go. It's so easy.
Yeah, right.
It's got a 60-pound hopper. I mean, you just keep that sucker up. 60 pounds, you got a lot of hours to cook.
Right.
And you can mix the pellets. I mix the competition blend with the charcoal blend.
Okay.
There's apple mesquite. I mean, there's so many different pellets out there, but
right.
That's what I've been rolling with, and man, I love the investment.
I've had so many different mixed like feelings like from people, because I haven't tried the charcoal ones yet, and I've had so many different one guy will say, "Oh, they're awesome, I love them," then the next guy is like, I don't like them. So that that's kind of a good idea. Like if you go ahead and mix it with something, it might give you a little extra flavor on that part of it. So, and now seeing that you're in the whole retail area, with you. What's kind of the whole upstate New York like situation? How is everybody feeling about it up there in that area?
Well, they just canceled all the schools in surrounding counties. My county finally today.
Okay.
They canceled all that, so everybody's out till April 13th.
Okay.
I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Show me one person that has the coronavirus, man. I ain't seen one person laying in bed sick. But people are freaking out,
Yeah, yeah.
wearing masks, which ain't gonna help you.
No.
Unless you're gonna wear that thing 24/7.
Right.
If you ever put one on, I'm claustrophobic. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I stocked up on beer. That's what I did.
Perfect. Yeah. Kind of us too, beer and milk and all this, like some of that type of stuff, orange juice for my boys and all that, and meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of like
Yes.
beer, I better get beer. And it's like, I got it made right now because, I drink Corona, and it's not that it's my favorite beer or anything. I just drink it. But there's like, when I went to Sam's Club on Thursday, 2 full pallets there. Usually those are picked down. No, 2 completely full pallets of Corona. Nobody's touching it. I'm like, yeah, let's lower the price a little bit, and then I can start stocking up for beer. Yeah, get it down a little bit. And
That's the one thing I've noticed everywhere around here. The beer's not really touched at all. So
Okay.
if you're a beer drinker, you're in luck.
Right. So what? Do you mind telling us where you work, or is it?
Actually, it's fine. I work for Tractor Supply. I'm in management.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's not so crazy where I'm at.
Yeah.
But some of the things that we carry for, like, pharmaceutical stuff for animals,
Mm-hmm.
people, they're just hoarding it up.
Sure.
And
sure.
And then the other day, the media went on a rage. I don't watch any news, so
Mhm.
this is just from what I hear from other people. They went on about pet food. We sell pet food. It's huge. It's our number one thing that we sell.
Okay. Sure.
And since the media went on about it, holy hell, the herds started coming in. So it seems like anything they talk about, toilet paper and, dog food, pet food, whatever, or water, or any of that stuff, cleaning supplies, sanitizer, whatever. So whatever they're told, it's just sheep running around.
Right.
Crazy.
And it's like, what's crazy to me was I didn't even think about toilet paper when I heard about this thing. And then John from 1984 Barbecue threw up a thing on Facebook, and he actually swore, and I thought it was hilarious on Facebook. And he's like, I can't believe all you guys are buying all the toilet paper. What's wrong with you? And I think he's down in Missouri. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to stop at my Walmart. And sure as shit, all the toilet paper is gone. And I'm like, really? This really is a thing? So, yeah, it's just nuts. But
I thought it was fake too.
we've got some winners back here, so,
There you go.
Yeah. So.
And us barbecue people, but we use a lot of paper towels. I don't know about you. I do.
Oh, I do tons. Yep. Yeah.
We go through a lot of that. And nitrile gloves, it's hard to find that now too.
I bought 4 boxes, and a lot of times I'll buy them off from Amazon, but this time I'm like, I went to it's like it's called Fleet Farm, so it's gonna be like your Tractor and Supply kind of. And I went there and bought 4 boxes of the extra large gloves, because I'm like, who knows when these guys are going to have these back, if they got to start, people are going to be getting, tested all the time. So I'm like, I need enough to get me through a few months of cooks, so, and I'm not very nice to them. I put them on and throw them down, and, it's like, I go through a lot of them when I'm cooking. So
I do.
Yeah. So what are you planning on? Are you going to do anything to your channel itself this year? You got any type of ideas that you're going to add to it to boost it, or are you just going to keep on rolling the way you're rolling?
Just what I'm doing now, like the last 6 months, just because I started paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And started interacting with people. That's been huge.
Sure.
Like I was telling you before, I used to only watch like 5 channels. I didn't know there was a bunch of other channels.
Right.
There was only a handful out there that I thought of.
Right.
And so I just rolled with that. And then once, like I told you, Charlie, man, he jumped in. He started this whole thing with me. So I started interacting with all these people. Right. And that dude's funny as hell. I think he's right up there as a beer champ as well.
Yeah. Charlie's not afraid to drink a beer can. That's for sure. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
And then, so now you've you got any big cooks that you're planning in the future here? You know what I mean? Like something like type of expensive cook, or something tricky cook or something, or what do you got? What you got planned?
see what the meat situation is in a month, but brisket is next on the list.
Okay, cool.
My birthday's next month. That's going to be my birthday cook.
All right.
I've
nice.
never cooked a brisket. I mean, corned beef briskets I've done those. The last one I frigged up pretty good. But
Well, that happens, though. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you've never cooked a brisket, huh?
No.
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, with that cooker that you got, if you use that pit boss, it's going to do a good job. I mean, the first brisket that I ever cooked, I cooked on a gasser because I had no clue. Threw it on the gasser, and it was absolutely so terrible. I ended up just grinding it up and made it into like a beef like spread thing with some mayo in it, and ate about half of it and threw the rest of it away. But that was 1992, I think. It was the first one that I tried. So, but yeah, then you kind of learn, you try to pay attention, and you kind of like, oh, okay. But with that cooker, that Pit Boss cabinet you got, dude, it's you'll get right through it.
Can't mess.
Yeah, and you always get better.
You brought up a funny story here. So when I first got into barbecue, like growing up as a kid, that was a thing family always cooked, which always meant hot dogs and hamburgers.
Right.
But at least it was barbecue.
Yeah.
So growing up, once I finally moved out and I got out on my own, I got a couple cookers. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to barbecue. Didn't know how to do it. Dude, I was lighter fluid and charcoal and keeping that flame going. I thought I had the flame going, ruined all that. And then the next morning, I threw the charcoal that was in there. I thought it was out. Threw it in my new garbage can. It was plastic, melted right through it. And so this is 2005, and then I got a gasser grill my uncle gave me, and I used to watch this thing on Discovery Channel, I think, or Travel Channel.
Okay.
It was the barbecue circuit. So like competition barbecue, I didn't know anything about it, but ribs was a thing. I went to my store, grabbed ribs. Okay, I got to cook it for a few hours. Threw them on and went upstairs, took a shower, come down. The back end is just flames everywhere. Burnt the hell out of the ribs. So, I threw in the towel on barbecue for a few years.
Yeah. But that's how we learn, though. I mean, that's really, truly how we learn. Like people nowadays, like the younger, let's just say the 25-year-olds and stuff like that are messing around with this stuff, and they're kind of on their own and they want to do it. They got it so easy because all they got to do is go to YouTube and type in pork ribs, and they got a million things there that they can follow. Back when I didn't even have the internet, and I'm not lying to you. I did not have high-speed internet until 6 years ago when I actually had it here when I moved off the farm, because all I had there was a barely dial-up that we could use, and I used it. I didn't care about it. I had a little bit of internet at work, but in all reality, 6 years ago is when I got internet. So yeah, there wasn't, and it was okay at work. I could open something up and look at it, but really the best service that I had was with my cell phone, my work cell phone, that I could watch something on YouTube. So yeah, I was on YouTube. That's where but that was all through my prior work. I'd put things on there, but I didn't watch it all the time. But at home, where I could luxury and sit back and relax, I got internet 6 years ago when I moved back to town. So, but yeah, so like young guys. But it's fun. I have a good friend, and he's been cooking, and he's so fired up about it and all that, and. It's like you start taking it for granted, when you've done it long enough, like a lot of these guys that are in this chat, they've been cooking for decades. Myself, I can say that, but when we take it for granted how easy some of the stuff that is what we do. And then somebody that's new, that's just fired up, the little things that they forget, and they're like, I kind of made a mistake here. But they're still good. Hey, the next time you ain't going to make that mistake, so.
Stick in your head for sure.
Yep. So your schools are all closed and work. Do you think there would be any type of talk with your work itself that you guys would end up like having to like not go to work?
President sent out an email today that says, "Oh no, we're staying open. We're here for all the people."
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But like I haven't seen one person sick. But Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's obviously people that are getting sick and stuff, and I get that.
Yeah.
It's a respiratory, disease or virus. It's respiratory. That's why I'm going to say it again. That's why the whole toilet paper scare. I mean, I'd rather see, Kleenex I can understand, but the toilet paper thing is like, really, But there is people getting sick, and if this means that they can shut it down and stop it from like going out of control, okay. But there is a heck of a lot of people that died from the swine flu, and I don't ever remember running out of toilet paper during the swine flu, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, honestly, every year it's a new thing, a new hot topic. And yeah, swine flu, that was a big thing. And I remember I had my first iPhone. There was a swine flu app that you could look to see all the places that had it. Yeah, that's crazy. But the only fear I've got is not the virus. It's just the stores closing. Can I feed my family?
Yeah, right.
That's the only fear I've got.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of food, but I got a lot of kids.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of things that I've heard, like some restaurants are closing up and stuff like that. They're going to only do takeout and stuff like that, which I think that's going to happen in every state, to be honest with you. It's going to be drive-through or takeout. You're going to stand outside and somebody's going to come out there with a white suit on and hand you your stuff, So it's unfortunate. It's crazy. I'm not really too thrilled about it, but whatever. I think we're like, everybody's just kind of like, really? But there's obviously people that are getting sick. So, can't deny that part. But I know like Russell's in the chat. He was hoping for more of a zombie thing because he wants to up his numbers, his kill streaks and stuff like that. So I know he was hoping for the zombie apocalypse, more. But, I don't think.
I did go buy ammo today.
You what?
I did go buy ammunition.
Yeah.
For my grandpa's shotgun, so just in case.
Yeah. Well, there is, and then if that happens, then you're going to see a martial law thing, and we're going to have the National Guard everywhere. But I hope it doesn't turn into any gunplay because somebody can't go buy a frickin', an apple, Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, other than that, I just wanted to thank you, buddy. Anything else you got to say to everybody? Go ahead, fire it out there, dude. What do you got? You got anything else?
Just keep watching, folks.
Yeah,
and don't be renting Ricer's house for that toilet paper.
Yeah, right. I've got to use this to pay the bills this week. So
yeah. Well, but I heard people getting in trouble for price gouging. Better be careful.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's sad too. If they start, it's like, come on, And my buddy was at Costco yesterday, and they had plenty of pork and beef, but the chicken truck wasn't there. So Costco was completely sold out of chicken. Well, people are in such panic mode instead of just buying a bag of, one of those bags, 3, they got 6 of them in a bag or whatever, 6 packages in that one thing. Instead of people buying just one of those, they're buying 4 of them, and it's like, really? There's still going to be food, until people, we might all be standing and like getting tests for a little bit, but I just don't, again. God.
Being in retail, I tell everybody, calm down.
Yeah.
The distribution centers are still full because this just started becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much food is in those? And the factories that are producing what they're selling, that's still full too.
Right.
So there's weeks worth of stuff.
Right.
You don't have to go buy 100 of everything.
Right.
And actually, there's a limit here in my town. It's 4 of each thing that you're buying.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of think that a lot of them are going to do. I saw something that that one place was like, be kind, don't hoard. Well, I think what they're going to do eventually is say, you can have 2 of these. That's it. 2 of this and 2 of that. And, like you're saying, 4 of this or whatever. And that makes sense if they want to do that. Because there's nothing more. Because I actually, when I was in Sam's Club on Thursday, there was a couple guys right in the back and said, holy crap, I really need toilet paper. I'm not just buying it to do it. Wow, hey, thanks, John, buddy. Appreciate that, man. And to Joe that was in there earlier, thank you, Joe, for the super chats and all that. But, really, if they have to kind of like price or not price, but product protect a little bit, it's kind of smart, isn't it? So everybody can get something.
100%.
I don't think that's like asking people because, again, how many jumbo packs of toilet paper do you need? I mean, really?
I don't understand it.
I mean, if it gets that bad and everybody's keeling over dead, you're gonna find toilet paper in the street. So don't worry, So.
And I live in the sticks, boy. We got so much wildlife out there. If you needed to,
Right?
Yeah. We're all country bumpkins out here. Yeah. We hunt for some food, so It's not a big deal.
Well, thank you.
Got a freezer full of venison right now.
Yeah, right. Well, thanks, Jake. I really appreciate it, buddy. Holy cow, what are you guys doing here? I mean, Jesus, awesome though. But thank you very much, fellas. So anything else you want to add though, bud? I mean, you got anything else you want to tell us? I mean, now's your time to shine, man.
I really appreciate everybody out there for all the nice comments and stuff. Like last year, I barely would get 1 or 2 comments.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought if you made a good video, and they weren't good, but I thought they were,
right.
it would just grow like a barbecue pit boy video. Like it doesn't happen like that, guys. And I have so much fun interacting and watching everybody's videos, although it's so hard to watch all of them.
Right.
I have a ton of my watch later list, like so many. Yeah, I try to get through them, boy.
Yeah. It isn't easy, and I think all us tubers really know that. And like what I always tell everybody, whatever's in my feed when I open it up, whatever's in my feed, that's where, I mean, I just kind of, boom, boom, and I go down the list. Well, I know that out of all the people that I'm subscribed to, I'm only seeing about 10% of the videos, and I feel bad about that, but hey, I'm gonna see your video eventually. I'm going to, because I'm subscribed to you, and I actually do turn on the notification part, but I got too many notifications to be able to go through and read everybody's on that too, So, but yeah, I mean, it's cool when you get somebody to watch it and say hi, and you've been pretty active in your comments back and stuff like that. I mean, I can say that from you, when I've left you a comment, you're right there, dude. You're right there replying, thank you and all that, man. So good job, because that is one of my things that I try to do too. I mean, like my video that I put up a couple days ago, well, I was literally, there was no way that I kind of did it in groups. I'm like, okay, I have time now to sit down and reply to 25 of them. And then now later I did the next 25, so when you start, I mean, I don't get a lot of comments. I sit there and look at like guys like Greg from Ballistic Barbecue and Justin from Baby Back Maniac and T-Roy. You can see why those guys will sit down like 1 day a week or 2 days a week, and they sit down and they just reply to all those, because holy cow, you're talking 10 hours of freaking just replying to all the comments that you got. So when you're small, you should be able to handle it, and I think most of us all do, but yeah, I mean, it's, here's a, new guy in here. I've seen him a little bit. In Your Mouth Barbecue. So let's all welcome him in. I don't know, Rob, do you know him? Do you know In Your Mouth Barbecue?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. That doesn't sound familiar.
Because you said great job, Rob.
Thank you, buddy.
But if you guys got any questions for Rob, throw them up there right away. We'll keep them on a little bit. There's not a lot for me to talk about tonight except for the Corona stuff. I do want to thank my Oklahoma Joe for like working with me on this new adventure, the new cooker, the rider. I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. I'm hoping that it comes tomorrow on a big flatbed with a drop gate, and we'll see. My buddy said he'd come over, and if I'm at work, he'd take care of it. But I think because my kids are off, I'm going to stay home and work from home tomorrow, so I will be here. But so we'll be seeing some pretty cool new videos with that new cooker. I'm really, really excited about it, to be honest, because that thing, I mean, the sear zone is huge. I mean, it's just huge. So it's going to be kind of exciting to try that. I think it's a pretty versatile cooker. So I'm fired up. Get it rolling and see what all comes out of it. But thank you again, Oklahoma Joe. I really appreciate it. So yeah. So that's the new thing I'm doing this year, and I'm going to have that thing running, and crank out the protein on it for a while. And if I get told by my work that, yeah, we don't want you coming in the office, I don't have to go there all the time anyways, and I travel a lot for my job. But if they say no more traveling for a couple weeks or something like that, yeah, my cooker's going to be humping. The video is going to be flying. So,
Oh, yeah.
But
Well, what about your edit time? Oh, boy.
yeah, it'll be a lot of time sitting right there staring at that thing. So, yeah.
So yesterday's cook, did you see that video with the tri-tip?
I saw 2 seconds of it. seconds of it. So it's on, but I promise, because you sent me that, and I'm like, I seen you post it, but I had 2 videos that I was editing and trying to get put up still. So, but yeah, I will check it out though.
It's a rundown of like my cooks. I cook Saturdays because that's my day off.
Mm-hmm.
After I'm done cooking, I go in, I eat usually about 7:30. I haul down to my man cave at 8 o'clock about-ish, throw my files on the computer. I edit that son of a gun as fast as I can. Typically, I'm done by 9. Hit render, run up, lay with the kids, put them to bed, come back downstairs, and I'm ready to upload it to YouTube, usually for Sunday morning.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I'm all ass, and I'm usually half-hand.
Yeah. Well, that always helps though if you're drinking and editing. That's my opinion. That's what I always say. My wife will say, "Why are you having a beer right now?" I'm like, "Because I'm editing." Oh, okay. And I'm like, "It's just easier.
So where all my editing stuff came from was back in the day. I used to be in a band,
Okay.
and I was a singer. I was
you're a rocker,
guitar
huh?
player. Yeah, back then, and I used to do all the editing too. So we weren't good, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun.
But it's still fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about audio and just the editing process.
Right.
Same thing with videos. It's still blocks, a chain. So
Yep.
things around and making it better.
Yeah. Well, seeing that you are the beer champ, what's your favorite beer? What's your favorite beer?
Everybody sees me drinking these. That's because I like to drink all day long. But my favorite beer is Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA.
Oh, okay.
Delicious.
All right.
Yeah.
So you like the IPAs? Yeah.
Yeah. But man, after 6 or 7 of those, woo!
It's a different time zone. Like with me,
It's like,
just a couple IPAs for me, man. After that, I'm just like, no, I'm zoning out. I'm ready for sleepy time. So,
yeah.
But it's still good. We've got a little thing called Central Waters around us that has a pretty good IPA. But again, there's some power in it. So it's like a couple of those. It's like I've had enough. Because if I drink any more, I'll be sleeping at the bar. So.
Well, there was a Christmas Eve once. I drank a 12-pack of that and a 12-pack of a local Saranac Legacy IPA. And I woke up on the damn love seat.
Okay.
Yeah. At least all the presents were wrapped. I didn't help.
We've all, I think, been there. We've all have been there. So, well, thanks, Rob. I appreciate you coming in, buddy. And have a great night and keep on doing it, and we'll get you back on again. That's the good thing about what I'm doing. What I feel is that I want to get people on all the time, and with trying to get a couple guys on at a crack, it just bring people in every couple years or whatever, every year, and bring them in and let them talk about things. So, but I appreciate you coming in, man. So it's good to have you here.
All right, thanks for having me on, brother.
All right. I'm going to go into the whole beer break pre-bake, and then we'll be back at it. All right?
Well, yeah. Later.
Later. All right, guys. It's official. I'm going to go pee.
Hey! Geht's euch gut? Super! Hey!
Yeah, Johnny, this is polka.
Super. Hey. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka.
All right, guys. So there we are. A little bit of pee break polka. I hope you all got a chance to go release a little bit, as we would say, refill, release. And I want to say again that behind the Garage Barbecue, he is the big champion from last week's raffle. Jimmy Q, how you doing? I want to say a few little shout outs to hear everybody, because I did see some of you coming in, and that's great. Thank you very much. Jason Bushibato, thank you for coming in. Chris from La Familia. I can't quite say it. Michael Davis was here. I don't know if he's still in there. Dickie, I think I said hello to you already. John Solberg, thank you very much again for the big super chat. And Joe's from Smoke and Barbecue. And, of course, Jake Nuz. I saw those three. If I missed and you put one, I'm sorry. But a lot of times when I'm doing the whole interview thing, I am trying to really pay attention to what everybody's saying. Cooking with Coppin Babe, thank you, buddy. Thanks, Josh, for coming in, man. I appreciate it. And that's who else we got. Johnny from View to a Grill. Thank you, buddy. There's Jake Nuz. Awesome. And I did say In Your Mouth Barbecue. I did mention him earlier. So thanks, bud, for stopping in. And Russell, of course. And Rick's Barbecue and Specialties, buddy. And Kent from Daddy Dutch. If you guys have not subscribed to any of these people, do it, and do it now. Help everybody out. If you are a part of doing either you're a YouTuber, or if you're not a YouTuber, please help each other out. Watch a little bit of videos. Everybody knows if you're a YouTuber, you can't see every single video, but when you get a chance to watch it, watch the whole thing, give them a thumbs up and all that type of stuff. Help them out. And a big, huge round of applause to Rob from Beer Champ BBQ. And again, there's too many, I must be subscribed to a lot of different beer camps, because I know I've seen at least 3 or 4 of them, and that's where that came from. Oh, Big Mike, hey buddy, how you doing, man? Cooking with the Big Cat 305. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Smokehouse Barbecue. I used to know your name, but I don't remember your name, so throw your name up there, please, because I want to say it's Joe, but I don't want to swear to God on that. I can't remember. And again, oh, dudes, hey, the Dude's Kitchen. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate that. Lou and Rob both have really cool things that they're doing on their YouTube, and I have a kind of a bonding with Lou because he's the same age as me, so I enjoy the way he presents things and some of the stuff he says. I can tell he kind of grew up during Smoking the Bandit era. There's certain things that he's said in the past, so it's like eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking type of stuff, and I really like that Rob has got that, hey, I'm here, I'm cooking, you better watch me. And if you don't watch me, you're still going to watch me just because I'm going to be hilarious, because he is pretty funny, and he throws a lot of great things in there, when I'm watching him. He's just having fun, man. He's just a guy that's cooking for his family, and he's having fun. And him and I have talked a little bit about how he might have 5 or 6 or 7 different things that he's cooking. There's, I think one video, I think I seen him cook 5 things. And so anyways, long story short, that's pretty cool that he's just having fun, man. He's having fun, and he is giving you some pretty good insight on his videos. Lou's a really good, he's a teacher, so he's really into that teaching part of it, and that's why I enjoy watching Lou. So keep it up, fellas. Good job, man. It's really a good job. So yeah, vintage 1970, and I'm a 69er, so I'm actually a little bit older than Lou. So, but yeah, other than that, throw me some of your stuff, from your guys' area. I mean, I'm going to take a little time here to actually be in part of the chat. I always feel like sometimes that I might not be part of it, and I want to be able to share with you guys a little bit my feelings. And when I'm doing these interviews, I really want everybody just to meet other people, and these other people to be on the show and be able to shine so they can talk about their thing. But I do actually really enjoy, being part of this whole community that is part of the Dead Broke Barbecue family. So throw some questions at me and ask me stuff, or whatever you want to do. Dude is 67. Well, thank you. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I have my mother's looks. I mean, I really do. I look just like my grandfather, but my mom, she was like when she was 60, you would swear she was like 40. She always was able to stay pretty young looking. I taught my kids to love Queen when they were really young. They still love it. Why wouldn't people like Queen? I like Queen. Good job, Russell. I really enjoy Queen. There's a lot of tunes that back in the 80s that I loved listening to. Charlie I think is the same age as me. 1967. Well, thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. I did work very hard to establish this type of audio, to be honest with you, with the help of my friend John Solberg, though. And if you guys are ever interested in trying to up your, just learn about like different mics and different sound, podcastage. And John will throw his link in there, because he's the one that threw me onto Bandrew's channel. I mean, he does so many reviews of mics, and this one just fit with my voice and what I was trying to establish. So, but yeah, there's a lot of work to get it to sound this good. It's of course I have that type of voice, but on the other hand, really it's more of the equipment, because you never know. I'm a big Rode fan, and if you ever talk to me on a cellular phone, you might think that I sound like a space alien, because I got such fancy mics. Kidding. But yeah. Oh, there you go. Jake is 35. He's 1984 barbecue. That's cool. Jacqueline's all right. I mean, Steven is 1972. I know that Russell's pushing almost 68. Russell's pretty old, but he looks very young for his age too. Slam so. Hey, Rick, I liked your Facebook post with that. There's plenty of toilet paper where you live in Mexico, so that's cool, buddy. I would suggest you just load up a car and start driving down the street. Put a little, one of those little things or something, and with the candy music or the ice cream music. All right, so are you ready? Today in tonight's video, I have a video coming out real soon on this barbecue rub, and I really enjoyed it. I am on my steaks, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am a salt and pepper, pretty much that's it. Sometimes a little bit of garlic powder, but typically it's just salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is all I put on ribeyes or my normal steaks. If I'm going to do a tri-tip, or picanha is only salt, but if I'm going to do a tri-tip, I'll put some other different seasonings, or prime rib, other seasonings. But we got the Two Pig Mafia. Oh, okay, I want to get this in. There you go. Two Pig Mafia And Sucklebusters is actually producing this, and this is from Robbie Staggs, the 2019 SCA champion. This is supposed to be his rub. I really liked it. The first time I really kind of tried it this weekend. We had it on a couple New York strips just for fun, but I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't season it right, but I didn't put a lot on, and you don't need a lot, so I'm kind of like, doesn't make sense what I'm saying, but I threw salt on the steaks because I always like, I don't ever think that the rubs have enough salt for a steak, so I threw some salt on there, and then I put the 2 Pig Mafia on there, and wow, I think I have a new, like, kind of a, like, not, I don't want to say go-to, but something that if I want a different flavor on a steak, this was pretty good. Let me see if I don't have my glasses on, so I'm probably not going to be able to read anything, but yeah, forget it. Remember, I'm 50, bad eyesight. I can read a big type, but this crap is way too small. So, but there's a lot of different things in here, and I think, to be honest with you, it's pretty good. So, what we're gonna do is hashtag Mafia. That's it. Hashtag Mafia. All right, that's gonna be our key for this week, and I hope that you guys get in there. One thing I'm going to tell you, we did have more people get in this week, and I was happy about that. But the week before, we had 7. 7. So the odds are for you guys to win is pretty good. So I'll put it in there. Hashtag Mafia. You know, maybe that'll be some like type of like keyword or something. But just put that in there in the replay, because I think you're going to like this. And I think this would go good really on any type of beef. But yeah, it was good. So I've got a video coming out. That'll be my next video. My last one on my other pellet grill for a while. And then we're going to start running the old Oklahoma Joe rider. And we'll start cranking out some stuff on that. I hope you guys can check that video out, those videos out when they comes out. Just make sure on the replay we put because I haven't figured out how to take, and somebody that's really smart. Hey, Laura, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Some of you guys that are really, really smart, if you can teach me how to take the actual chat and make that into this, Charlie, you might be one. But I couldn't figure it out because I did some tests, and yeah. So I would rather just be able to do it during the live than on the replay. But hey, come back and throw it in the replay when I post that. So hashtag Mafia. Yeah, why not? Yeah, hashtag Corvette. That won't get it. And plus, I'm sorry, Russell, you're disqualified because you don't live in the 50 states. So unfortunately, that was what Sucklebusters told me. We have to live in the states for them to be able to do the shipping. So, yeah, Corvette will wait. When I get a Corvette, then maybe Chevrolet wants to send me one, and I'll try it out. See if we can get like a little cooker on the back of a Corvette and go to the beach. I want everybody out there, though, to be safe and take care of themselves. Yes, wash your hands and all that type of stuff. Noobs, I don't have that cooker yet. I won't get it until tomorrow, but I will do something with it. Hashtag ripoff. Yeah, sorry, Russell. But, maybe, Russell, I will just sometime come up and visit you. My wife has talked about that she would like to visit Canada sometime. So I don't have to meet you at the cabin, but maybe, you take a little trip back to the concrete jungle, and I'll meet you in Toronto or something like that, and bring you a little a little care package or something for you. But yeah, this whole coronavirus thing, again, part of me being that the old stubborn German Norwegian that I am, I don't want to believe anything, but just take care of yourselves, guys, and and girls, and make sure that you wash your hands. Don't go into public right now for a little bit, as much as you're gonna have to. Don't be afraid and lock yourself in the toilet with your 25 cases of toilet paper. But maybe lessen the trips a little bit or something like that. Don't go to the nursing homes and visit your grandparents and stuff like that. Try to stay away because it is a respiratory disease or virus, and you want to keep people safe as best as possible, obviously. So, that's important. I think it's time the Canadian come after Ricer. Yeah, all you guys come on down. That'd be great. I'd love it. It's not like Canada's that far from Wisconsin. I mean, yeah, where Russell is, he'd have to kind of go west a little bit, but, All right, good job, Johnny. You went golfing. Perfect. Yeah. Quarantined in a brewery. I think, Rob, you're onto something like that, man, because it's everybody get drunk, and, I mean, when you're drunk, do you cough that much? You might puke, but I don't remember, ever really coughing a lot. No, I did not see your hinder, Russell. But I did see you a little intoxicated Friday night after your Bookser live show. I can't say it. Well, how do you, I don't speak Canadian. Except for that I do copy a lot of them. I'm going to about. I did see your hot seat when you were on the hot seat. So other than that, Beer Champ Golf. Well, maybe I could send him a little Tonka Corvette. But where he lives right now, wouldn't you think he'd want like the big stacked, with the huge wheels and stuff, Yeah, I mean, stay away from doorknobs at the nursing home. Yeah, that's what happened here too, Kent. Our schools now have shut down for about 4 weeks, the way it sounds. So, I mean, I think my boy said they don't. I mean, I read a thing, but it was April something when they can go back. And I mean, I think it's affecting a lot of people's jobs. If you work in the traveling agencies or traveling in general, there's certain people that I know that deal with booking flights for different people and moving people and hustling people to different areas. I think their jobs are crazy stressful right now. And then all of a sudden it's well, we're not doing anything for a few weeks. Like myself, I mean, I deal with a lot of utility companies, and they're sending me messages that, if you don't really feel good, we don't want you going anywhere. Well, and then they said more of the thing is but if the people that you got to go visit, if they're kind of hey, stay the hell away, just respect that. So my job's getting kind of into a slowdown. You're going to be in the hot seat. Well, just add a little bit more heat, Dickie. Crank it up a little bit. Yeah, it is a great time, John. You're 100% right. Well, thank you, Delana. I appreciate that. I am going to have a good week. I'm really excited. I'm going to get this cooker put together with the help of a buddy of mine, and we're going to put it together at night. And hopefully Wednesday or something, or a little bit maybe tomorrow, we'll just see what the lighting's like. Do a little bit of unboxing. I'm not going to do an assembly. It's too boring, but my friend Johnny from View to a Grill talked me into, hey, people want to know what's in the box, dude. So just show them what's in the box. All right. Because I think he heard me complain about the whole, I can't stand unboxing videos. I get too bored with them. I just want them to say, fast motion, blah, 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 and this is what we got, and then start using it. But I will kind of cut and paste it a little bit and try to make that a real quick little video, just what's in the box. I'm not going to show you me swearing because I'm trying to hold something and get the, screw in there, and then I get pissed off and want to smash a screwdriver through my skull. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually, hey, Chef Johnny, thanks for coming in, buddy. And Bill, there's a champion right there. Hey, Bill, I live in a city called Iola. That's why I said that on Instagram today, buddy. So congratulations. Good things always happen in cities called Iola with barbecue. So, but yeah, so we'll open it up. Yeah, they're here. I'm going to put this up on the screen because this is 100%. The only thing that you forgot to put on there, and I know this is not really the whole virus or getting sick thing, but you forgot to put on there the gas crisis of the 1970s because I actually remember them damn things. I mean, my dad was pissed off. He's like, there was plenty of fossil fuels. What are they trying to tell us here? You missed a lot, Johnny, so you're going to have to watch the replay later because Lou put on a really good show, man, and we learned a lot about him. But yeah, congratulations, Bill. I mean, you're pumping out the stuff, and a lot of people go check out chicken fried barbecue, especially on his Instagram, because he always kind of shows these his trimmed up pre-cook things, and then his finished product. He's got some pretty food that he's producing for these competitions. So I need to have, yes, you're right. I could put the cooker together by myself, but I need a friend to hang out. My wife would tell you that I need a babysitter. I need a babysitter to help me out and turn some screws and have somebody to talk to while I drink a beer. So you're exactly right there. Newcomb BBQ. He's a past former winner of our big, wonderful Suckle-Busters drawing. And I did see Uncle Steve in here earlier, and I forgot, or I didn't get a chance to actually say something to him. But thanks, Uncle Steve, for stopping in, buddy. That your Gator Shake was really good, man. Daddy Dutch Kent told me when I talked to him, because he's had those rubs for a while, and I said something to him about, well, what's really good with the Gator Shake? And he's like, chicken, man. This is really good with chicken. And it was. My kids devoured those wings, because on the video you see me do one cook. I actually did another one right after that, and I think they were gone in 2 days, and that's kind of a record, because it's like they'll eat them, and then the next day they take a few to school, and then the day after it's like they'll have a couple, and then it's always like, we're eating them for a couple days, wings. Typically, especially if I put hot stuff on them, then I know it's just me and my wife will eat them. But this Gator Shake was really, really good on those wings. I didn't actually put any sauce on them, so I had some Ebola cereal last night. Yeah, thanks Easy Bake for putting that in there. You're 100% right. Support Uncle Steve's there. I think I have had all of his rubs with a little taste test, but I haven't had any of his rubs yet with, or not all of them yet, on cooks. So I got a little bit further to go with that. Thank you, Chef Johnny. Yeah, I mean, I was on your Google's Hangout a couple nights ago, so you and I had plenty of time to talk then. So, oh yeah, I know Newcomb's name, but I'm not telling you. Just call him Newcomb. But I think most of us guys in here have actually had Uncle Steve's Shake, and he's generous, and so is Suckle-Busters. I think they're also getting very involved with the whole YouTuber influencer stuff. So I know Rick is a big fan of them, and that's great. All right, John, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it, man. I will talk to you soon, because I got a couple questions. And you guys, a lot of you guys probably know that John and I are, John is always on the Barbecue Central show as the embedded correspondent, and I will be on again this month. And we're going to have to sing. So I'm going to have to get a hold of John. I tried to all weekend, but we talked a little bit, but I had one of those weekends where it was like every minute we had to do something. But yeah, John, you're going to have to help me out with this one, man. I can't imagine singing, so we'll see. So hopefully you guys can come over and check that out when John and I are actually have to sing, because they have this like American Idol thing that they're doing. So yeah, I was in a rock band years ago, but I haven't sang for 2 decades, so almost 2 decades. So that'll be interesting. Also, and I seen him in her earlier, and I didn't get a chance, but Steve from our Owl's Nest Barbecue has a nice little Thursday night chat live show before the hot seat. So it's a good little pregame warm up for everybody to get over there, because he's bringing in different YouTubers sometimes and comp guys. And of course, the famous Johnny Maggs is in here still. Check out his stuff. Johnny, I don't think you actually share your shows on YouTube though, if I'm correct, because I always watch them on Facebook. So maybe you can let us know if that's something that you do with because I follow you on YouTube. I'm subscribed to you. But I've only watched yours and Messy Mike's videos on Facebook. So, and now his show is pretty damn good too, and then there's the Barbecue Central show. So, and then this show. How many times has he timed out Kent? Well, I don't know. Has Kent actually been... Oh, sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never seem so good. So good. I mean, remember, I'm a former Wisconsin Badger season ticket holder, so halftime was always that, and all the kids pretended they actually knew who Neil Diamond was, so we'd have to sit there and listen to them sing, but it was always cool. And then, of course, Wisconsin made it pretty popular with that Jump Around song, so that was always fun in the stadiums. But I would rather go watch my kids play than go to another game than these days. So there, okay. But is Johnny Maggs stuff? Okay, then I must be just following you, Johnny. I must just be subscribed to your channel. So, sorry about that. All right, good, Russell. I hope you enjoyed my singing voice. I got a lot to practice there. I got a lot, because I got to sing Thin Lizzy, the Jailbreak song, and I'm not going to lie to you, that was before my time. Man, I was still watching like Disney, like Peter Pan and crap back then when that song was out, I think. I mean, I was listening to, like, for sure I know I was listening to Blondie. Yeah, Blondie was big. My first rock band that I ever wow, this is a rock band, was Kiss. And then I remember brought my record in Mrs. Eden's class, and she let me play it, and it was a Kiss Alive one. You wanted the best, and then all of a sudden, one of the teachers told me, do you know what KISS stands for? No. Kings in Satan's Service. I'm like, bull crap. Just because they got Star Child and the Demon. Get out of here, lady. But yeah, so whatever. Rock and roll. Ozzy was supposed to be really bad too. And he thought the bat that he bit the head off was fake. He didn't think it was a real bat. Call him Baton Rouge. Now, it's I think every college has some really cool stuff. I'm not a really big fan of anything from Minnesota. Sorry, guys. But there's kind of this love-hatred for each team. Everybody from Minnesota hates every Wisconsin team, and everybody from Wisconsin hates every Minnesota team. So it's just kind of a love. But we like the people. I've got a lot of friends, and I have family in Minnesota. So, but it's always fun to talk about how much cooler the Packers are than the Vikings. especially their colors. Yeah, I loved it when Lou was talking about that he was into Metallica and all that. Me too. Man, I listened to Slayer back in the day. Gosh, let me think. I mean, it was Slayer, the Descendants. They were more punk. And then Metallica, Megadeth. Oh, God. Hallows Eve. Just really crazy stuff, you know. Really crazy stuff. Yeah, Ozzy can't really talk that well, but he sure can sing, man. I saw him open up in, it might have been 89 or something, or he had Metallica open up for him, Master of Puppets tour. So it was somewhere around there. And Ozzy was just a madman, and he was just so awesome. His show was so cool, and the Killer of Giants tune, and yeah, it was a great show. And then back then, if you went to the Green Bay, whatever the hell it was called, and went and watched him over in Green Bay, nobody really stood down in the middle, down in the mosh pit, as they call it, or whatever nowadays. But nobody would really stand down there. So me and my buddies always did. Next thing you know, we're in the front row. We're catching like Jake E. Lee guitar picks and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I seen Ozzy 10 years ago. His comeback tour or something, retirement tour or something like that. It was pretty good still. But 20 some years ago, yeah, he was a madman for sure. He was awesome. So. Oh, really? On Wisconsin was your high school song. That's cool. You just didn't say Wisconsin. You said like your high school name, right, Jason? But it'd be really cool if you said Wisconsin. You know, why not? What else is there to do in Arkansas? I'm just kidding. Wow. 5-finger death punch. I agree with you, Pickles. The old Metallica was really, it was like, you know, like just so different and so crazy different. So it made it so much more fun. Because there was the big hair bands, you know, that were cool, and Bon Jovi, and then Metallica comes in there and just crushes everybody. You know, that was awesome. I could tell you stories, but I won't. Yeah, we've all had that. Really? Wow, On Wisconsin's a pretty popular song for schools. That's cool. Racer's a jerk with the toilet paper pyramid. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. What I'm trying to do there, Newcomb, is I'm just trying to subliminally send more people to Walmart and stand in line and say, "You really don't have any toilet paper?" A friend of mine was telling me that they asked and just was really, really nice about asking. They were just like, "Hey, this is just a really nice question, but I was wondering if you guys gonna get more toilet paper? We don't have any right now." And they were so pissed that they even asked. And that's kind of the whole deal there when you kind of look at it, that the guy's probably been asked that 70,000 times, and he's sick of answering it, you know. Watch From the Stage, Johnny. Wow, Godsmack. I really like those guys. You know, Voodoo, I'm Not the One. That was a really cool band too. All right, noobs. Dickie, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, man. I really appreciate it, buddy. It's awesome. Good luck with the rest of this cook. Get it on video and get that video posted, man. You know, it's barbecue season. Hey, Grill Sergeant, how's it going, man? Thanks buddy, for coming in. And you're also another good little Facebook poster with your humor. I enjoy that. Keep them coming. You know, Dickie has been making me actually laugh out loud a few times. So he's got some good ones, and you've been very impressive yourself. How about a hell yeah? There's a lot of truth there, Jake. I'm going to broadcast that one. I really don't care what Costco runs out as long as they got meat because, you know, we make sides. My wife is more the side person. I'm kind of like Piff, let's say. Piff and Jiff, where Jiff is making some sides and then he's cooking the meat. And we're kind of the same way, but I don't a lot of times film any of that crap. You know, it's not that it's bad. It's just I don't want to wait, you know, or have to set up more things on camera and then do all that. I'm doing the barbecue and that's kind of it. You know, there's some things that I might do once in a while. Eventually, I really like making Hasselbeck potatoes, to be honest with you. I think that's our favorite ones when we want to try to like pretend that we're cool, and I love making them. The bottoms just get so damn crispy. You know, it's just awesome. But I don't want to make a video on it. And, oh well. Wow, Vegas is shutting down. Josh says that they're shutting down. Really? Easy Bake Play. Went to high school with a keyboardist for 38 Special. That's freaking super cool. Yeah, so then I suppose Dutch and Justin and CJ and Tom and all those guys are probably not going to Vegas then. God, man. Well, unless theirs was in April, so maybe it'll open up by then too. Why would you do anything? My wife actually likes Brussels sprouts a lot. God. I look at them and they're gross, man. I don't like them. Andrews just puts some pretty funny like Facebook stuff up. That's what he does. He's got a good sense of humor, so I enjoy watching that. I like those funny, like, they're not like rude or anything. It's just like creative, funny, dumb posts, man. I like that stuff. Anybody got any good cooks coming out on video? Enough said. Shit got real when I seen that. Yeah, I would agree with you, Russell, that Brussels sprouts are kind of a cruel joke. I mean, I can only eat them if I dump a ton of kosher salt on them. And then my wife hollers at me, "Yeah, it's too much salt." Well, they suck. I don't want to taste them. They're dog food. Yuck. Yeah, I just don't like them, though, Lou. I can't stand Brussels sprouts. I mean, maybe if they could get, like, all the times that I've had them, they're just too mushy or something. I don't know. How much of this madness is media-driven, in your opinion? I would say 70% of the madness is media-driven. That's really my opinion. Lou had a great post that he just put up a little bit ago about mad cow disease, the swine flu, SARS, all these crazy things that we've gone through. And we didn't all panic and buy every freaking ass wipe that was found. So I really do blame a lot of the media right now. The economy's pretty good, and I'm not, saying that it's going to be good because we're probably going to be little struggles here for a while. And they really didn't help that because there's a lot of people that are going to be affected by this. And every election year, there's something that comes up. But I really do feel that it was pushed a little bit too hard. It should have just, come on, man, you're dealing with real, regular, normal people. There's nothing wrong with talking about prevention, like instead of going every single day to some place, maybe only go there once every 2 days, try to do less traveling. I mean, there's a little bit of honing it back, precautionary stuff, but to pretty much just say, you guys are effed. Everybody's going to die because some horny guy went to China, Wuhan, China, and came back and this was a few days ago, killed 31 people at one nursing home in Washington because he was like, this is just my opinion, but he was like bride shopping or something over in China and came back because he's a CNA and he got a whole shit ton of old people, sick, and they croaked because at one time 31 out of 40 of the deaths were from one nursing home in Washington state. So it's like, if they would have talked more about, hey, this is kind of like, we got areas, pockets, things are happening, we got to be careful, but it was media driven right away. And that's the thing that I don't like, it's like, help people. Don't make people panic, for frick's sakes, because there's a lot of people that are panicking right now. Oh, Chuck Norris has it? All right, good. Inject them with bourbon? Really? Brussels sprouts? Man. Or just people? Because I'd rather just have people get injected by bourbon. Maybe that'd help. Why not? I like a good bourbon. Yes, and Russell's right. The problem is that we all know old people. So like I told my mom a couple days ago, she's in the nursing home. And my wife works there, but they have to get their temperatures tested and their, and stuff now every day. I said, I ain't going to be here for a while, so we'll just have to FaceTime. And stay away from her because if I get it, we'll see. Maybe I win. But I am 50. So could be a chance that I keel over from... But before that, Russell, I'm coming for you. If I turn into a zombie, I'm coming for you, pal. Yep. So have that nice, I don't remember if it was a 7 mil or whatever you have in your kitchen, but have her scoped up, buddy. Inject it in your mouth and throw out the Brussels sprouts. Sprout lives matter. There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth. We are currently under 700 deaths, and H1 happened in the U.S. Yeah, it killed over 1,000 people. And but like Rob had a great point when he was on. Show me somebody that's got it. Show me somebody that's got it, and then show me somebody that's been cured, because there's people that had it and now but they don't get on the news because somebody can say, well, yeah, man, I feel like I got hit with a sledgehammer in the chest and, I had a bad headache, but I'm better now. I mean, think about it. The older generations, their immune systems, I mean, that's what happens, Oh, Russell. I really liked it. No, I don't know if it was the last video you made. You're sitting there playing Nintendo. I thought that was pretty cool. Showing that that's what you do when you get done putting up tongue and groove on your ceiling. So it was good, man. Yes, you can, Jake. If I go down, you're going to step in for me. Just so everybody knows, Jake and I are buddies. We coach together and good friends, and he's just started his new adventure into the whole barbecue thing. He's been grilling for a long time on gas, so I always teased him, these brats taste like gas, the whole Traeger thing. But he's stepping up, and he's starting to do some cooks, and been pretty proud of him, and he's fired up. So, hey, Claude. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I hope you liked my chicken wing thing, because I know that you were kind of like, hey, Racer, you got to get me a cook video. I have another one coming. I got some steaks coming. So You know, oh, Chris left. Sorry. Did I miss that? But thanks, bud, for stopping in. We've got some more. Now, Smokehouse, tell me your name again. I must be missing it. Is it Joe? Smokehouse Barbecue. Which Chris left? Oh, La Famiglia. All those Italians. Everything by my area is Johnson, Swenson. Everything's a son or a sen, you know, so pretty easy names we got around here. All right. Anything else? The hospital I work at has had 2 confirmed cases, and they both have been discharged. Oh, well, that's good news. You know, that's good news, Jason, because that's kind of what people want to hear. All right. Sounds good, Russell. Have a good one, man. You go live now. Take over the show because I'm getting ready to bail out here pretty soon. So, okay, Kenny. All right. I'm Captain Kenny. All right. Well, thanks, bud. You know, because I've seen you, and again, I know you as Smokehouse Barbecue, and names are, you know, I just want, when you spend time with me in here, I want to know your name. So, anybody else got a last couple questions? We ran a few minutes over tonight, but I did want to hang out with the crew, you know, all the Dead Broke Barbecue family here, and just BS with you guys for a little bit and do the normal, regular talk. Again, I want to thank Rob and Lou for the great interviews today. It was fun. Yeah, it's really all I really have to say. Be safe, everybody. You know. Oh, that's a good question, Charlie. I'm going to cook chicken. I always cook chicken on any new type of like cooker that I buy. That's what Dash and I have like in common. Anytime that I've ever bought a new, even my Weber kettles, the first thing I cook is chicken because it's cheap. And I've cooked so much chicken in my life, it's usually doesn't ever not turn out okay. So I got some really good. No, you didn't run your mouth, buddy. You did great. My wife picked up some thighs, and we're gonna throw them on there. Yeah, same to you, Josh. Hope you guys be safe. You know, just be smart. You know, again, you know, Lou and I were like doing this and doing that, but you know, I did take a shower before I got on live, so I am touching the corona though, so gotta be careful. No, I'm not gonna do the biscuit test. No, I get it. With like an offset smoker and all that. I actually just like learning the cooker when I'm cooking food. There's going to be hot areas in that. There always is. With that huge of a sear plate, I think there's going to be a ton of heat that's coming off right in the center part. Like every pellet grill made, wherever the fire pot is, there's always going to be a lot of heat. So, nah, I'm not going to waste my time with like, if, you know, is way or the third, because this has got three, you know, the bottom grate and then the middle and then the top, so there's a lot of room in there. But it's like, you know, that's not, you know, I mean you can just put your hand in there and you can tell where the hell it's hotter and colder. So I'm just gonna run it. I'm gonna burn it off, you know, do my slower burn. You know, I like to, because my dad was an auto body and so was my grandpa. So I'm going to just start at one little area and, you know, start at the lower setting and just work my settings up, and I'll burn it off longer than some people do, but I don't care. I kind of learned that from my dad. He was an auto body, and like I say, my grandpa was too. They both painted cars, and they always said, if you want a car to last after a paint job, let that paint cure. Too many people get too excited and they drive it down the street right away. So, you know, let it get some heat on it. Hey, Eric is here. See, now here's the camp. That's where I got, another camp guy, beer camp, camp house, so yeah. Jake, the biscuit thing is that you put just, Pillsbury Doughboy or whatever the hell they're called, biscuits all on the different racks, and then set a timer for 5 minutes and see which ones are browner or whatever, and different stuff like that, and just check. And you'll see your hot and your cold areas. On a stick burner, I would 100% do that because I want to see how the the heat, I want to say heat deflector because I got that in my brain, but your tuning plates, where your tuning plates are and how to set them up to, because some guys want a pit to be the same temperature all the way across. To be honest with you, the one that I had in the farm had a real hot area and it had a cooler area. And I love that because there was times where I'm like, I want to get this done. So I'm going to put this in the hot area. If it's the same temperature all the way across and you're cooking all the time, that makes sense. If you're like a restaurant, you probably want it to be the same temperature across that whole, 500,000 gallon, whatever the hell type of cookers they got. That makes a lot of sense because they're doing it for me, myself. Sometimes I just want to pound something out. It's like, I don't care. I don't care if it's pretty. Everybody's hungry. I'm getting this done. We're going to put this on the hot part, and I do that obviously on sometimes in my videos, I'll say it. We're getting hungry, so I'm going to put it in the hot part, So, but it is really, really a good way to know what a stick burner is cooking at. But a pellet grill, come on. I mean, you turn it on and just make sure you got pellets in it. They're pretty easy to run. There's no fire management on those. There's just cooking temperatures, and a pellet's gonna be like this. It's the same thing though with a stick burner. Every time you put a new split in, and it starts catching on, you're gonna have a little spike. If anybody's ever ran any type of test on there, you're not always sitting right at that 225 or 275, But yeah, I enjoy just running a grill right out of the box and let's see what it's got. Yeah, Rob's set for a while. He's got 8 30-packs of beer. So yeah, sometimes I just want to pound something out, So, well, guys, it was a great show. We ran for a whole 2.5 hours, which I'm really surprised. Next week, we have some really cool guests. We got Kevin from Comparison Cooking, and we've got Eric from Camp House Barbecue. And we're bringing in Brian Crawford, who's kind of big in the comp stuff. So it should be a pretty good show. And we got 3 guys, and it'll be fun. I hope you guys can all join us. And if any of you have not contacted Pickles yet about getting on the show, just we'll bring you on. So get on. I know a lot of you guys are already signed up, but I would love to have you guys on. And dude, if you want to get on, yep, see you later, buddy. You're always watching and always a part of the community. So feel free, man. We'll bring you in and you can talk about your channel. I'm doing this for all of us, to be honest with you. My live stuff, I'm not no professional interviewer or anything like that, but I'm having fun getting people on that I like to watch or that I don't know a lot about. It's fun. I mean, because I'm learning something and I want everybody else to learn something too. So you guys have a good night. Now stick around for a little bit because I really do want you to, some of you guys took off. I'm going to try to do this right. But I do want you guys to listen to this outro that, it was on last week, but I don't know if I did a very good job at it. So, but yeah, enjoy. Thank you. Have a great week. Be safe. Remember, there's a lot of other people that are doing lives and go support them too. Johnny Maggs is one, and the Barbecue Central Show. Steve from the Owl's Nest is another one, and I want to give shout outs to people that I'm a part of and I like watching, and everybody else. So Johnny Maggs will be on pretty soon, so that's good. And because I'm interested, I don't know John that well yet, but I'm trying. So again, if you guys want to, please contact Charlie, and he'll get you on. And we're gonna keep on doing this until people start giving us the finger. So. And even if they give us the finger, that's fine too. So thank you guys. I had a good time. So here we go. Check this out and let me know if it works.
It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you so much for joining Ricer on BBQ Tavern Talk. Before you go, make sure you hit that thumbs up or hit the thumbs down. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Hit the notification ringy bell. All of those YouTube things. Action figures sold separately. Batteries not included. If symptoms persist, seek medical attention. Only one per household. Call toll-free number before digging. Caution, filling is hot. Do not fold, spindle, or mutilate. Do not remove tag under penalty of law. Refrigerate after opening. In the unlikely event of a water landing, your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device.